Hello, 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 and welcome back to part 2 of our England playthrough at the moment. Now, the focus of this one is going to be getting our dominions up and running and keeping our economy spiral going. Ooh. Yes, we are all good. Now, I think the first port of call actually is going to do something a little bit crazy. Now, the Castilians have wiped out the army of their pretenders, so we don't need to intervene there. So we can sort of let time tick, because we are currently in the waiting game of professional armies, if we remember right. We're pushing down for armies as soon as possible to get that manpower so that we can build up an army and go and stop the French, right? When we're reliant so much on these levies and they've just got a lot more people than us, even if we do have the allies for it, it's just not going to go our way. So, whilst we wait for the inevitable research that we need, why don't we have a go at the new manual trade system? Because we're not getting any ROI out of this at all. As you can see, we're getting 0.38 total trade profit from it, which is not great, let's be honest. Now, when you are the big shot country in the market, you sort of expect the AI to sort you out, but it isn't for us at the moment. So we need to intervene and see what we can do. So let's give it a go. So we're going to pull back on our market automation. We're just going to do this in London to start with. We'll let the smaller markets stay automated. There is no trade order created in the market. So if we assign a little bit to manual, we can then think about, so these are our big imports that we could use. Like if we want to assign a fur import, it will automatically solve that. And these are our exports. So stuff like wool, and that's quite interesting. Is there a way we can do any sort of like the full manual way to do it? Let's have a look. So if we went into, where is it? Goods, select market to export wool to. And yeah, you can just do manual ones there. So I'm not sure I really like the trade order system yet. So we'll give a full manual run a go, and it might change on us, it might not. We'll figure it out. So we've got a supposed alum good trade that we could do. I mean, we want to obviously sort by profit per trade capacity. Getting some gold from Prague is going to be very useful. Getting some wine in from Bordeaux. We seemingly have a excess in the burgers are importing loads. So if we go for like 6 or 7, forgive the pun, please. Bits of those. We'll get some sugar in. Now we've got 9 left. So can we do any fancy exports? Cloth to Bordeaux. Sure. We can make that very cheaply as well. So, but it's got no demand. So that's probably not worth it. Sulfur to Edinburgh glass. That's not worth it either. I guess we'll try some fur. We don't need ivory. We do obviously have a demand for sugar, but we're gonna make sure we use that. And then we'll chuck the rest into, I mean, if tools is a, yeah, we'll do a big tool trade and see if we get some value out of that. Now, our trade was at 3.5 when we loaded this autosave, and now it's up to 8. So, here's the question for you guys. Do you think that much of a trade advantage is worth doing it automatically? It's worth doing it manually, sorry. Because it's all an opportunity cost, right? It's a game that we want to enjoy. But if it's going to take up all of your time, then it's not worth it. And obviously, the trades can become a lot less valuable after we've done it, like the cloth one that we've just done. So we can pull some out of the cloth and put it more into sugar. There you go. We can repay our bank loan, absolutely. And we want to start getting our dominions up and running. So if we can start taking over Ireland and giving that land to the Pale, it would probably be a good start for us. I wish we could get some proper claims over Ireland. We're going to have to just manually do it through spy networks and rivals, which will be slow, but we'll get there eventually. I mean, we were incredibly lucky in the last day that we just got Scotland for free, and that was brilliant. But what we need to do for Scotland is, can we profess trust? Sure. Is to try and make them a dominion. That's what we need to do. Welcome, big boy John. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Now, we've got about 860 ducats. So where were we with our economic spiral? Well, we've just done our major RGOs. We've sort of done a lot of investment into Saffron Walden and Woking to get them up to scratch. As you can see, that's generating us 41 wealth just from that one province, which is brilliant. Jeffrey Chancer, do we want to invite him? Yeah, he's a nice artist. Let's do that. We can start thinking about urbanization, but I want to get the wool spiral going fully first. So we'll invest more in wool RGOs. And all of this money is going to go straight into our estates anyway, so it's not lost, like a lost cause in terms of the investment. Just because we don't have enough people going around at the moment. And then we'll check London. And we also want to invest in the subsequent cities as well, don't we? So stuff like Oxford and other nearby cities where we can get demand for those goods going for our entire economy. Perfect. Right, we're going. So, if we can get our stability up, we'll get out of negatives, prevent any bad events, and then we can think about going back to France. Now, we're almost at the rate of armies that we need. We will get there eventually. It's just going to take some time. I don't think it's brought many tools to Iceland. Yeah, that trade's gone bad already. But that's why manual trade is bad, right? Because you're forced to redo it and redo it and redo it, and it gets really annoying. Support a noble cabinet, absolutely. That's a good little one. Prussian Crusade, brilliant. Someone's come back. Now we can test out how much we get for a mix. I mean, we're already gaining more money, right? Just from doing those trades. So we could put some more focus into like the gold trade with Prague. That's quite profitable. The fur trade and just the profit and the really profitable ones that are not causing us any issues. We'll get over 50% parliament support there. We can think about changing a law or something if we want to down the line, but at the moment, this is going to serve us nicely. So, for our economy, we need to get some spinners guilds going, preferably in the really high output provinces. Albeit, we don't really have many cities left, so why not just max it out? And then the same for some tailors guilds, because even though they're not looking that profitable, we're upgrading both sides of our economic spiral at the same time, which will create demand, increase prices, and make it more profitable for us overall, increasing our tax base and our wealth. And we can't complain with that. That's why we're pushing down serfdom as well, because it will give the RGOs we've already invested in a ginormous boost to our output, and we absolutely need that. Hi Scott, it's good to see you. Thank you. Hey, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Parliament has agreed already. Perfect. And this guy is encouraging migration, and this guy's doing serfdom. Now, they're both in our nobility, so I don't really want to give the nobles that much power. But we can think of evicting one soon enough if we need to. This guy's not very good. It would just take us a lot to get rid of him, but we can worry about that down the line. We probably need to hire some courtiers with legitimacy and get some better characters by doing it. Now, 200 ducats, let's let that get up for a little bit first. We don't want to overspend. Simon Sudbury, we'll just take the religious influence there. He's not that good. Have we done all of our unique buildings? English becomes our new court language. Absolutely, let's do that. English is for the English. I'm going to sound like Nigel Farage there for a second. What have we got available to us? So still no governors, really. Albeit our location ranks, we don't exactly have a second city yet. So that might be one to do when we get to France, get a naval governor over there. Canterbury Tales, yes please. Where I want to plan our first local governor is in, where is it? Pembroke, down here. Perfect natural harbour in Wales, so you get proximity over that bit. And that's why we're focusing on annexing the Welsh subjects first. Oh, don't worry about Cheshire, it's not that big. We probably need to start urbanising though. So, let's have a look. Natural harbours. Could start with Dover. What's the price for forming towns? Not that bad. Well, we'll start with Rochester. It's really high control. We'll probably do Barking as well straight away. We've got a road there, so our control is really high. We've got the income to subsidise it. And then we can build the demand buildings in it, which will give us a huge boost. Buildings. How is London looking? Because I know we were almost tapped out when we were there last. Ah, there we go. So glass, and then we want some tools probably. Build up that full eco in London. We've got enough people there, which is a rarity for our country at the moment. We don't have many. Get some lumber mills as well, and that's why we're encouraging there. We're being quite smart about where we are encouraging our population, where we aren't. Like Henley is probably a good idea to do now. So encourage migration there, and we'll get all of that wool that we've already spent and invested in filled up, and then we can just strategically go around and do that and fill that out. Welcome everyone to the stream. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you all. If you've got any economic questions or ideas, feel free to chuck it in the chat. I am reading, so it's good to chat with all of you. Now, we do also have the dominions that we want to expand, and that's why we are getting the CBs over Ireland. Now, we might have to use the parliamentary one, so we can... I probably should have done that in this parliament, actually, because a lot of them are just, like, allied together or raw married together. High Kingdom of Ireland. I wish that was a defensive alliance, because then we could just attack them all at once. But we just need to get the land under Pale, and then they can start making loads of money from it. So, the Scottish up here, if we wanted to change them to a dominion, how far away are they? They're minus 28. If we annex our vassals, we'll get there. So if we start annexing Durham as well, albeit we've got Wales going, so I don't necessarily want to get rid of the Welsh. So if we support the Welsh loyalists, they should integrate faster if it's a big enough debuff. I don't actually... I know it's a 100%, but is 20% extra worth it? Maybe. What we need to do is get off decentralization. Decentralization is causing us many problems. Any sense in building roads early? Well, the logic you want to do, right, is why are you building the road? To increase control. So you've got to have something to increase the control for. So the first road I made was to Saffron Walden, because we've got the really strong RGO here. And I've made roads in our like little wall spiral area. But there's no point in me building a random road to Salisbury, even though it would probably increase the control, just because I'm getting nothing for it. Everything is opportunity cost in this game. It is just a big economic simulator. So you've got to think for every single decision that you make, what are you getting for it? What could you be doing instead? Could you be urbanizing like we've just done with Rochester down here? This is now a town, right? So we can build buildings in it, and ones that we're perhaps tapped out on, we can build special ones like wharfs, like libraries. We can get temples, all the stuff we need for demand in our economy. And there's essentially a build order you can follow, and I'd love to... Well, oh, France has gone for us. Well, they've sort of forced our hand. Yeah, so the sort of build order that I follow... Oh, Castile has refused to join us. Well, bugger off, Castile. No one likes you. To be fair, they are in a civil war, so I don't begrudge them that much. What I usually do is I build up my capital first. As you can see here, we've got a hell of a lot of buildings in London, and we can get some effective value out of it. Then, after I finish getting some substantial value out of my capital, I go for the RGOs around it. As you can see, we've invested quite a lot into these. Because even if they've got low control, that money doesn't just go away. It goes into your estates. So our nobility are getting a lot of money from these RGOs, and they're using it to construct. And what are they using it to construct? Expanding gatherings, expanding farms, sandpits. So they're using it on the RGOs themselves. So it's not like the money is being lost like it was in old EU5. The money is just going around cyclically in your economy. So wealth shouldn't be underestimated as a tax base like it often is. After that, you go for like the unique buildings. So you make sure you've got all your libraries, you make sure you've got all your temples, and because they create demand in your economy, and demand is the most important thing. Because if you're making a bunch of buildings, but you've got no one to sell it to, then what are you making it for? Sure, you can trade, but let's look at how much we're actually making from our trades in the top right. 3.5 ducats, it's like nothing. Our tax base is 300. So it's just over 1% of our GDP, and that's even by doing a little bit manually. Is that worth it? No. Sure, if you're in a better region for trade like Italy, you're going to have better returns, right? But at the moment, we're not really getting much ROI for it. After you've done that, you urbanize more, like we've just done with Rochester, to get those unique buildings, and then your economy should start spiraling out of control. You can then sort of think about control and proximity as your economy grows. So if you've just made a new town and it's getting you a lot of economic value, or you've upgraded an RGO to crazy levels, then build a road there, build bridges, get that control and proximity up, build a local governor once you've made cities and you've got your location ranks. There's no guaranteed scenario that you're gonna follow. You've got to make decisions with your brain, use your experience, and work it out for yourself, really. Like, I might do a video soon about like the build order I just explained and spoke about, right? But ultimately, you've got to follow what is best for your nation. So like the values we might go as England is going to be very different to what you go as Hungary or Bohemia. And to answer your question, when you annex Wales, isn't it going to give you 10 more vassals? Yes, but we want to annex Wales because we want to build up Pembroke and get a city here and a local governor. It's short-term pain for long-term gain. But getting Scotland as a dominion is the overarching goal. And you can always do the war strategy or release and whatever to speed stuff up. But the reason why we want to turn Scotland into a dominion is so we can get them spreading our culture. Now, you can do that normally, but dominions, it's part of their code. It's part of their aspect. So there's no penalties for doing it. They're not just loyal. They just do it naturally, and they're incentivized to do it because it's part of their being. So that is my sort of mini solution to the death of the vassal meta at the moment, if you will. And that's the point of the save, really. I want to experiment with dominions, see how they can help us, and see how far we get down the line. Thanks for the insight. Makes a lot of sense. Any point to focus on expanding lumber, clay, masonry to reduce construction? Yeah, that's got to be your first step. Even before building up your capital, you need to get that negative 33% building cost as close to it as possible. It's not always possible. Like, I did a Holland run recently in single player. I might do a video on it at some point. But because you're in a minor market here, you see how big this Bruges market is. Obviously, it's not... Usually, it doesn't have this little bottom half bit in France, but just a normal Bruges bit, imagine. You just don't have control over it because you're such a tiny state. So even if you crank out the masonry or the lumber, you're not really going to have any substantial difference. So in a scenario like that, you focus on your like big RGOs, like dies, and you get some economic value, and then you come back to it later when you've expanded and taken over more of the market. There's a big problem in the game at the moment that you really can't do anything if you're not the biggest person in the market. And I don't think the game should be like that. Like, I get how trade advantage works, but I think it should be more proportionate and more on a goods by goods basis rather than just overall. But look, you could talk for hours about how to change EU5 or how to fix EU5, right? you're gonna get there down the line. Thank you so much, Martin, for the 200 donation. I appreciate it. It's good to see you, and thank you for being here. Now, we've got a bit of a problem on our hands in France. We don't have armies yet. We've got a very small professional army. So we're going to have to be careful. We need to stagnate the war until we get a big enough professional army to just wipe the shit out of them. But we do have Bohemia and the Papal States, so it isn't going to be as hard as we think. We've already beaten the French once. That's why Aquitaine's expanded. So I really think we can do it again. Let's get on it. So we've summoned our levies. We'll also summon our naval levies. Otherwise, it's going to be a hellhole trying to get all of those troops across. They should automatically go to London. Yeah, they do. That's a really good change. That's brilliant. I didn't actually realise they did that. You saw that, right? So that 554 troops spawned in here, in Calais, our core, and just automatically rally pointed to London using a ship in a strait that had friendly units to board on. Considering the state of Paradox AI of the previous history, that's amazing they can do that. I got to give Paradox credit where it's due. That is insane. I'm happy with that one. And to answer your question about control and proximity, because we put so much effort into RGOs recently, we're definitely needing to expand these bridges now. Now, the problem is our workforce isn't big enough, so we'll have to deal with that. But we'll get there. So I think we're going to fight in Flanders and use the forts there. We've got Joan de Barcelona. He's got really good stats. He's the one who was in our cabinet last session and was a little bit iffy. Are you still going serfdom, or have you embraced the free subject supremacy? Now, don't get me wrong. I love free subjects. I think it's really cool. But at the moment, and I know it changes on a patch-by-patch basis, a noble economy is much better than a peasant one, especially in the early game. Now, it does change as you get later on, and you can have specific builds, right? But considering the vast majority of EU4 games are just played in the first 100 years, the normal mantra is just to do it through your nobility, because you pump money through them, they reinvest it in your economy, and you're fine. Aragon have offered to join the war against France. I'll absolutely call them in. They've taken the opportunity Castile has given up by abandoning us. And we're going to go for the kill here, I think. Now, they're nowhere small enough for us to PU them straight, but what we can do is do some considerable damage. How do you deal with the mid-game lack of iron? That's a really good question. I know they've sort of curtailed the iron deficit at the moment, right? And they've delayed the death spiral, but it does still kind of happen in a few games, just because if you have AI that performs well, they know to build up their economy, which means they can increase demand for iron, and there's just not enough in the game. Now, I did a video on it a few months ago, and it's still incredibly valid. So if you're particularly struggling with that issue, go and have a watch, and you'll feel free to come back to the stream whenever and let me know what you think. It's only 8 minutes, but you basically just spam bog iron smelters, and you just do your best to get all the iron provinces you can, all the wetlands, because you need wetlands for bog iron, and just get as many of them as possible. Because if you know the iron economic death spiral is happening, it doesn't have to be an economic death spiral. You can actually just profit from it. You can realize, okay, there's a demand for a good here, and embrace your inner Vicky 3 or EU5 economy, I guess, as well, and just make a market out of it. Like classic capitalism, right? But if you just prioritize wetland provinces, you can spam bog iron smelters, and you'll be fine. Also, deleting a lot of buildings that are using iron that you're not necessarily using efficiently, like getting your market villages off of creating tools, for example, is a big one. And just making sure you're following an economic theory called a comparative advantage. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it before, but it's essentially where countries only produce what they can make really efficiently. So that means something like, let's consider modern economics. So what is England, who we're playing at the moment, known for? England is known for their amazing services, okay? They're really good. I say they because I'm English. Our industry is services, like tax, accountancy, etc., etc. So if the French decide to do that en masse as a country, they're going to get outcompeted because our services are really, really good. Or if you want a more like physical property, German cars. German cars are known as being the cream of the crop, right? So why does it make sense for the French to come into that market and try and do what the Germans are doing better? You're just going to get outcompeted, you're going to be less profitable, and you're not going to make money. Every country makes what they're best at, and you can really make some good economic gains in EU5 by following that as well. So having really large cities, because for each building level you get, your production efficiency goes up, which means that you make more money. Your market access, the further away you get from your capital, goes down, or assuming your capital is your market center. So less of your goods are getting into your market. So if you focus on efficiency more than profit, you actually make more money down in the long run. And it's something that is a bit overlooked in the game at the moment, to be honest. How close are we to the armies? Okay, we're getting there. We're up to 42% war score already. I don't really know how. I imagine our allies are just going hard. But I'm not complaining. We just need to push in now. We've got a lot of vassals who have come over this time. We're going to stay in big stacks for the moment because the French army is still quite big. And we're going to get going on those bridges, as you were saying about control and proximity. There you go. And is there any roads we want to do into good? Well, Guildford will be good. As will Lavenham. That should be fine for now. This war's going right. Ah, we need a new cabinet member as well. Sir John Plantagenet, my heir. Let's do it. Is he my heir? No, he's not. But he is a son, so he's in the Crown Estate, which is good enough for me. We'll get him in the order. We will make him head of the cabinet if we can. Oh no, we need 100, so 2 months' time. Ah, the French have arrived. Let's coalesce our armies and not get cooked. Come on. Hey, we just wiped the French. Brilliant. Longbows are so good. You saw that, right? We had less troops and we still won just because of how strong longbows are. I still think the French are overpowered, right? I mean, like, especially in this patch because of how strong their economy is and how big the vassals are. But you shouldn't underestimate England. With how strong Dominions are at the moment, they can be really, really strong. And I think England is my favourite nation in EU5 anyway, so... do I trust that we're going to win that? So we've got good terrain. They're going over a river. It's going to be a -2 modifier. But I think it's probably prudent to send reinforces. Let's do that. We'll get there pretty fast. Oh, no, we lost. Great. We died so quickly. That's less good. I think that is probably one of my main problems with this patch as a whole. Just, it's so easy to get stack wiped at the moment and to stack wipe. I know the balance changes on a month-by-month basis, right? And it gets quite frustrating. But come on, guys. Like, we can do better than this. And this is coming from someone who cried about in EU4 for years that you couldn't stack wipe people enough. And you just had a lot of these like morale battles. We welcome their change of heart. Sure, they can leave the war. Let's kill the Bretonians. Come on. There we go. We lost a lot of troops there, surprisingly. The French vassals are just crazy, aren't they? We're attritioning. Okay, let's get under one army, and it should make it a bit better. How are we doing? So the French are down to 16k. They've got 1,000 regulars. Yeah, we need these armories ASAP. I guess the good thing about armories is they are expensive, right? But we have quite a strong level of RGOs in our economy. So it will create demand throughout all of our economy, meaning our production methods and our RGOs are going to be making more money themselves. So that cost goes through all of our economies. It's not the end of the day. Let's go for some lumber mills in London. You always need more lumber. Wineries, breweries. I mean, we could go down the brewery route. We do have wheat as our RGO. But I don't want to overproduce in London. That can be another problem in itself if you get too reliant on it. I'm going to have another look at RGOs, I think, too. Henley, is your RGO full now? Let's have a look. No, it's not. It's still going. Okay. We're maxed out on serfdom now. Now, I know this guy isn't great, but it's we can't really change that at the moment. We've got other problems. We'll worry about that down the line. So I think we'll try and push back to naval now. We're really struggling to get down naval this game, but we need to put some focus into it. Right, how are the sieges going? They're going all right. We're up to 50% war score, which is pretty good for us. Are you going to go become Protestant or are you going to stay Catholic? I think you probably, for an England run, going Church of England or Anglican is the best route. It just gives so much literacy. I know the heresies are really good for that too. England in E5 is good at wool and iron. If you embargo Flanders, then you help yourself to the cloth profits. It's a bit tricky to get a monopoly. Yeah, because they, if you have a look here, where is it? Oh, that's a wheat province. There you go, wool. Because they reintroduced the high price of wool, the cloth economy in England is so strong. And you basically just funnel demand from cloths into your nobility, and that's why you go down the nobles economy route as well, into fine cloth, and you just get so much economic value out of it. It's crazy. Do you specialize cities with the new urban rights? I basically just spam all production buildings. Not sure that's the right approach though. As I was speaking earlier about comparative advantage, that's sort of what I follow with urban rights. Now I know we're a bit lacking in options at the moment. Like, I do think we need more options to specialize our cities, but absolutely you should specialize, right? It's like if you've got the unique Byzantine one, right? you've got the silk monopoly. So you get silk output, cloth output, fine cloth. You are obviously just going to make a silk fine cloth economy in this province here, because you will just get so much production modifiers and it will make a lot more than spreading those buildings out. From my understanding, if you have a bunch of cities that have like level 13 buildings rather than 50 million towns that have level 4 buildings, it's going to be a lot more profitable. But you've got to play the game your own way, right? There is no right or wrong way to play it. It's just different strategies that other people use. It's everything situational. Do Dominions not culture convert anymore, like that guy said, or was it fake news? They do. If I show you, I believe I am that guy. Look, where is it? Dominions must use the same primary culture as Overlord or one of its kindred cultures, which means they're going to convert to either a kindred culture of yours or English, which is perfect for us. That's why they're so strong in the current patch. You might, if it's a kindred culture and you want to enforce the culture, you can go down that one. But because they're forced to be that culture and they can't convert back, it's a very easy way to get cores en masse rather than doing the old one province vassal meta that was a few patches ago, if you get what I mean. But that's part of the reason why we're doing this save, right? We want to figure it out and check it, because there's a big difference between theory and reality. You've got to make sure stuff works in practice. Right, we've got our armories. Let's get these up. We need as much economic value as we can get ASAP. I'm going to try and avoid them being in London, but I might have to give in at some point. And we're going to push down for gunsmiths now in our technology as well. If I just show you, we've already got it queued, but there you go. Because there's no point in having it if we don't have the production method for it. How's the war going? The French have been stack wiped. I love it. The Papal States and Aragon have lost a lot of their army as well, though. But they do have the economy, so they might go down the mercenary route. And they've still got all their vassals, so we still do have to be careful. Like, they've got 9k literally right there. There we go. Cheeky little stack right there. And now, should we push to Paris? Let's do it. Do we want to have the Cathar heresy? This guy really isn't good. Let's just get rid of him for now. The plan is to go Anglican or Church of England. Are we still getting food here? No, we're not. Okay, so we need to siege the province first and create our supply lines. Supply is so crazy important in this patch. I can't overestimate that. Is market access a problem in England? I haven't tried them yet. You should absolutely do an England game. They're really fun. If I show you the market map mode here, market access. So we've got obviously 100% in our market center, but it does fizzle out as it gets further and further away. Obviously that changes as you get roads and proximity. It does increase your market access. And see here, your market access cost reduces. And when you do it overseas as well, if you go down naval. So if you have a look here, we want to get naval, and it increases our efficiency over trade, our maritime presence, and that helps with that as well. So we should be fine, right? But the reason why market access fizzles out is why a lot of people, including me, really like small markets, because you just get a billion market access, whereas big markets, it gets further and further away. But the big question when you're considering your size of your market is where you're making your economy. Like, because Saffron and Walden is right next to us, it's going to have really strong market access, so it's all going to get into our trade and we can sell it off. But if like, we're going to struggle with market access to our silver province over here, just because it's so far away. And we do need to upgrade that. Let's get down to that. So we're currently sieging Paris. They've got a big old garrison. Oh, the French have abandoned us. And they've got the Papal States on their side? How have they managed that? That's bullshit. I didn't realise that was a feature. That's crazy. Oh, we might be in trouble. Right, well, we need to get Paris, then we can think about piecing out. We've still got Aragon, but the Papal States are going to be an issue for us. But they're not too big, so it's not too bad. Fibrous crops farms, I don't really see the point in. We shouldn't be using fibrous crops anyway in our economy. What is the demand being used on? Papermakers Guilds. Oh yeah, we're about to get rag paper, so that won't be an issue for much longer. You've got to sort of think long term for your economy as well. Like, sure, we've got really profitable fibrous crops farms, but if it's not going to be a thing for the future, then what is the point in making it? Oh, we just need to start focusing on our RGOs again. Henley, you must be finished by now. I've been encouraging migration to you for years. Right, I'm just going to leave it at this point. It's not worth it. Actually, it probably is. We've maxed it out. Let's just keep it for now. There we go. We've sieged Paris. Let's go and unsiege this fort up here. Do we want Welsh cultural tradition? No, we don't, because we want to annex them faster. Spend for control in Newport or get cultural influence for ourselves and control. I want to save money, so we'll just go for the middle option. There we go. Taking that army out. Let's siege this province, get a unified task force, and then we've got a decent little area to get a decent peace deal out of. Now, I don't know how much we can take, because what's their war refuses like? It's in our favour, but obviously the war hasn't been going on for that long. But we do have lots of provinces around here we can take. And quite a few of them are our cores. We also want to get all of the cores back for Aquitaine. Let's do that now. It's nice and cheap, and it shouldn't be much AE. So we're up to about 50 war score at the moment, so we definitely want to push on further. Oh, the Papal States have just got 15,000 mercs. We're gonna run the fuck away. Why have they got 15,000 mercs? I know they're rich because they get paid, like, so much, but oh my god, guys. And the French have just turned them against us. Okay, we might want to abandon ship. Would leave the recipient too fractured. Why are we saying it would leave us? Oh, because they've got loads of cores there. Okay. Let's try. We're not going to bother with those mercs. We're just going to let the Papal States waste the money and defend France if they want to. We are going to sort it out in our own right. So let's just get a peace deal with France sorted. Have we occupied that? Yes, we have. Let's give that to Aquitaine. That's 47. Can we get these two to Aquitaine? I don't want to just go through and click return core because it's getting annoying. That's fine. Not too fractured. Lovely. Have you got cores up here? Let's check. They do. So where can we find to return cores? There. I'll just get this piece deal. I'm not looking at chat at the moment. Please forgive me. Okay, I can't seem to find it. We can always take more land ourselves. Like this, like this. Are you fractured? No, you're not. For some reason, you'll let me have that. Now, if you want some money at them as well, or just try and cut them down to size and take land. That's sort of what I'm thinking. We can give a lot of this to Flanders anyway. Obviously, we want to try and avoid a coalition as well, though. At the moment, it just looks like it's going to be French vassals, which is okay. And then we can... Do we want to dismantle some forts? We could liberate some vassals or transfer some vassals, actually. So if we went for... How much would transferring Normandy be? 71 war score. That's quite a lot. What about Brittany, though? 76. Okay, that is a lot. Release bar. Artois. Anjou. That's 41. That'd be a lot of AE. We'll just get land. It'll be fine. We could probably take land actually in Brittany instead, because we can get cores over it and actually get proximity. So if I renege a little bit in the provinces down here, so we don't push too hard into it. Want to make sure we do it by state guidelines though, like that. Then if we go for like these states here, 80 war score, the borders look fine. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Do we want anything else actually? Nah, we'll just go with that. And that means we don't have to deal with that 15k merc stack. Cool. Now we have quite a sizable little exclave into France. So we definitely need to get down the naval tree ASAP. EU5 bad? Well, I did a video on it recently. Go over watch. It's only a few minutes, and feel free to come back to the stream and let me know your thoughts. I don't want to get into another rant on EU5, but I do like EU5. I don't think it's bad. I just think it has it's going in a direction that maybe we're not entirely happy with. Yeah, the mercs in this patch are crazy in quantity. I know the quality's been reduced to all hell, right? but the amount of them is just mental. Like, it's 1375. Why am I getting 15k bucks? Like, come on. Right, we want to get this guy to head of the cabinet. He's in our crown estate. We should have done that earlier, but we forgot about it. Let's shut down our army. We're now getting armories, and then we'll try and get France pieced out. Well, we've already pieced them out, but invaded again. That's the word. ASAP. Let's cut our stability investment again. Cut our fort maintenance. Get the cost of core up, and then we can just keep our economic spiral rolling. There's a lot more RGOs for us to make and a lot more economic value to extract. I have a question. I have no idea how it works. It's how to use supply depots. From my experience, I mean, I haven't really used them that much as well, but I have at least used them a few times, is that you spend manpower to create a portable food source. So you only can really get food from provinces a certain amount away from cities and towns, right? So if you're deep into France, you can make a new town. It's not a town, but it's like a town in terms of food points. Your supply lines will stock food there, and it will allow you to push further into that territory, if that makes sense. That's my understanding. I'm sure we'll have to use it at some point, so maybe we'll try it out in the next French war. Let's get you back in London. Actually, no, we get 100 controller. You can go to Walden. If you didn't know, your army passively increases your control. So sticking it in a high value province like this, even if it's fractional, it's still a gain. Yeah, 0.08 because of friendly armies. Like, it does add up. It's not much, but it does add up. Castle works we could do if we want to just farm some, like, CBs for Ireland, say. Because we do need to get Ireland unified ASAP. Let's do it. We don't really need laws. We've sort of done our laws by now. Increased opinion. Yes, please. Address Rotten Borough. Sure. The Lords won't be very happy with that, though. Address Toll Castles. I can't do that at the moment. The Lords will kill us. And is there any Irish alliances we can utilise? So, if I invaded you, who would join? No one. If I invaded you, no one. No one. See, this is really frustrating. If they were allied to each other, we could declare war and murder them all at once. Well, these guys at least got some allies. Let's do it. Let's fabricate a CB on Munster. Then they are allied to this guy in the north. And this guy also in the north. So if we then set them as co-belligerents, we'll get... Oh, our levies still raised. Is that our naval levies by chance? Yeah, it is. Let's disband them. The Hansa are making a trade office in us. We don't want that. Let's get rid of the Hansa. Where are you? You are over here. The Hanseatic League. We are going to not embargo you, but we are going to block building in our territory. We need them to not like us. Well, we'll send an insult, and we'll worry about that in a bit. Let's start a war on Munster, and we can get funneling provinces into our dominion. Do we want to threaten war? If we threaten war and they say no, we get a better CB, if you didn't know. So, let's do it. Albeit then it wouldn't allow us to call them as co-belligerents, but they're one province minus anyway. Let's do it. So, threaten war, done. They said no, so we started a war. And that now means we get a following on through threat CB, rather than a parliamentary improved claims CB. And that's plus 25%, and this is minus 25%. That's a 50% cost difference. Like, that is... It's really sizable. I can't stress that. So I would really recommend using that strategy if you didn't know about it already. Let's get some more armories going. We need that ASAP. And then we need some gunsmiths as well. We're not there yet, but we will be soon enough. I think markets are so difficult to decide where to put them. Can you give a demonstration on where you'll put them for a nation like Byzantium, as I'm playing them now? Absolutely. If I'm doing a Byzantium run, you obviously have Constantinople, as you want all of these resources, including the good RGOs here, to have good market access. Then you'll go to Smyrna. Your next market will be down here in Smyrna. Where is it? Smyrna. because Smyrna is one of the best cities in the entire game. It's got saffron, really high market access. It's got really good terrain modifiers. So you can make a really strong market here and get all of these provinces. And then up here as well, you've got Thessaloniki. That's really high harbour capacity. It's right near your gold. So all of that's going to be going straight to your market. I'd also get one in Greece up here. I don't know a specific province. But the way I would decide where I'm putting a market is look for first natural harbour suitability, a good RGO, good RGOs around it. So yeah, Athens would probably be my choice. But there are some really good RGOs in the south here in Sparta. So if there's a lower tier natural harbour, I could be tempted. So maybe Kalamata actually. I leave that to personal opinion there. But Smyrna is the big one in that region. I hope that helps. Now, let's get back to our scenarios. So, we've just got rid of our levies, but we want to rehire at least a few of them. We won't need many people to go and beat up the Irish, but we will, of course, bring them in. We will spend some money to try and get another Parliament CB if possible, but it might not be possible. We'll get our navy to go and pick up these troops. They can take 4,000. How many have we got? 7,000. Okay, well, we'll get our naval levies up again. That'll be fine. It just makes it a bit of a bit less hassle, and we can use them for maritime presence anyway. It's a bit weird that your naval levies actually boost your maritime presence, but it's something you can really use, and they're so cheap as well. Like, it's definitely worth getting rid of them at the end of the war for obvious reasons. But, okay, the nobility are going to cause us problems. But at the start, go for it. I mean, if you're at war, just have them out in the sea, boosting your maritime presence, getting rid of piracy. You've really got nothing to lose. How many troops are we against? Okay, basically nothing. So let's split up. I want one down there in Munster, and then 2 split up in the north. And we'll just get this war done as soon as possible. And all of the proceeds are going to be going towards the Pale anyway. Because it starts a Dominion, and that's the government that we want to push. You can go to the north. You can have a general. I know some people like the automatic generals quite a lot, but I keep them manual just for like min-maxing, really. Wow, this Vic-free patch added a 1337 start date. Crazy. It's good to see you, Tarkus. You've got to come back to EU5. I've been enjoying Vicky. Like, it's good fun. That video we did together was very good fun. So thank you for doing it with me. And I would love to see your perspective at some point soon. If anyone here watches Vicky, you should go and check Tarkus' channel out. He does some great content on it. Now we are absolutely smacking the Irish. I don't know if it was worth a parliamentary CB, but we'll do it. We need to get the Pale as big as possible. I'm going to start building up his spy network in Tyrone because I believe we'll be allowed to set a new rival at some point soon, and then we can just slowly do it on the Irish people. It will cost us an arm and a leg, but it means that we don't have to wait for a Parliament CB for every single thing, which is just draining. Well, I hope your move goes fast, mate. Does anyone else have any questions about the economy or anything while we're going? We're in a bit of a lull period at the moment before the next French war. We're getting our armories up, and we're going to need it. They're going to be expensive, but they will create a lot of demand in our economy, so I wouldn't be too annoyed about it. Do we want to... Yes, we want him. He looks really good. Let's do it. 100% war score. We haven't annexed these places yet, so we need to get on that. Tailors Guilds are apparently very profitable. I'm so surprised. It's almost like it's our entire economy. Let's get some more going. And you're like, well, you only get 0.08 tax base out of that. Why are you doing it? Well, because it creates more demand. You're getting more cloth being used, so your cloth price goes up, which means more wool is being used because you've got so much of it, and all of that just feeds through your economy. I've watched your videos on wood paper tools, but what other economic cycles are good? Well, I did one a while ago. It didn't get as much traction as the big one. It's called the Renaissance Cloth Spiral. That is really good in England, and especially in this patch, because the wool price has gone crazy. I mean, I don't know if you're here when I showed it earlier, but it's up to 2.5, and the fine cloth price is 6. So you can make a crazy strong economy out of cloth. the info, because of the price changes, will be incredibly valid. So if you want to go and give that a check out quickly, go for it. But the TLDR is you rush rag paper. Rag paper means that you can make paper out of cloth, which gives you so much demand for cloth in your economy, which therefore gives you so much money for wool in your economy. On top of fine cloth as well, you also go for a nobility economy to increase your demand for fine cloth, get as much urbanization as possible to get burghers, clergy, nobility, to increase that demand, and then you are just raking it in like well and truly. And it's such a good economic spiral. There's also, like we were speaking about the iron death spiral earlier. Actually, you can make an economic spiral out of that by just serving the market, because people always want iron. So I wouldn't underestimate that either. And you can make people dominion straight away in peace deals. You don't need to just make them that might just be an England thing, actually. If you're a normal nation and trying to get a dominion because of how strong we think they are, what you have to do is make them a fiefdom and then ask them to change to a dominion, because one of the requirements of making a dominion is your countries being in a union. And because they're in a union, technically, if it's if it's a fiefdom, they're ruled by your king, right? So it's technically a union with yourself, which then meets the requirement of forming a dominion. Now, I don't know if that's what Paradox intended, but it's in the game and we should use it. Let's get we've got a gigantic amount of children, but let's see if we can get a few more. Is there anyone we really want? Not a cousin. We don't want inbreeding. That's bad. You can quote me on that. Inbreeding is bad, if anyone asks. There doesn't seem to be anyone good, but it doesn't really matter. What about one of our vassals, just to make life easy? Let's go for you. You're not good, but you meet the requirements. So, have we got a new rival we can set? Yes, and we're going to set Tyrone. Now, we're building up our spy network on them. We'll leave our professional army here for when we want to go and fight them in a little bit. And then we can just get the really expensive Humiliate Rival CB on them and just slowly build up the Pale. Now, I'd love them to annex their vassals as well. It would be a lot better for them for a control purpose, but it's not the end of the world. We just need them to get it all in their control, and then they can start culture converting it for us, or converting it to Irish, which makes it easier for us down the line. You can easily get dozens of free ships that help you push early on. Yeah, we really need to get down naval, and we're going to start working on that now. There's a lot of strategies you can use for it, but it's actually pretty easy to get to 50 naval. We've just had other priorities at the moment. We want more fine cloth. We want to push that demand through our entire economy. And we should be able to export it as well, hopefully. But we are competing with the likes of Byzantium and Milan, who have really good fine cloth bonuses anyway, so it's not a guarantee by any means. How's the Welsh annexation going? It's got 4 years left. And then we'll have to annex a lot of other subjects, but that's a problem for another day. Cut our fort maintenance back. We just need to get as much money in the doors as possible. And we're close to gunsmiths, and now we're going to start hopefully seeing manpower just flooding through the doors. Yeah, Humiliate Rival needed a 20 spy network, and we can get on that. Welcome everyone to the stream who's joined recently. Say hi in chat, it'd be good to see all of you. Thank you for being here. And thank you again to Martin for your donation. I really appreciate it. I do enjoy making all these videos, so everyone who joins as a member or supports, it's really appreciated, and it really does help. We've now got 500, so we've got the debate of, do we want more control? Which we could possibly use up in the north, somewhere like Bedford. Like, the RGOs are good up here with wool and stuff. Yeah, let's get some gravel roads to all of our wool RGOs. That's where our economy is going to be. So, Northampton, Huntington. Where else have we got? Lavenham we've already done. Do we want anything else? Or do we want to shut up shop? Leicester, why not? Winchester. That should be good for our early game control. We don't want to focus on it too much. We want to start urbanizing now in the regions where we have control. And all of this like river bit where we've got bridges and stuff, it's going to be very good for that. And the other place you want to focus your urbanization on is your natural harbours, especially for a naval nation like England. Because you can just get so many good demand buildings like we've got in Rochester down it. But there's a lot that's going around, so we've got a lot of options for ourselves. We don't need to rush into anything. There's so much you can build in this game, it's crazy. So, naval is our priority. What do we need to do to get 50 naval so we can get the policy that we want? There's a law I believe we can do. Where is it? It's a maritime law, navy audits. That costs us 90 stability, so we might want to wait for a parliament to do that. But we will go for that. We can canonise a saint if we want to get some legitimacy, but that's not going to be that useful for us at the moment. We'll just keep spamming out a pilgrimage to Canterbury, because spending 7 ducats on 10 religious influence is just insane. Ultimately, there's no other way to say it. It's just insanely overpowered, and just the ability to spam it is mental. Now, gunsmiths, we're obviously going to make the max amount we can in London. So I'm going to pause our construction of other stuff at the moment so we can focus on that. We'll encourage migration to London to get some people to fill the jobs, and we're just going to max it out. If we can get a good gun trade over all of Europe, it will make a lot of money for us. How is our trade going at the moment? See, it's better than it was. We're making profit, but the automation really isn't doing much for our London market. How is our maritime presence going up here? We're pushing it up, but it's not perfect there yet. A really good building that is really underrated, actually, is... Where is it? It's coastal forts. It's in professional armies. I'm blind. Yeah, coastal forts. Because not only does it stop people privateering you and shoots enemy navies and stops people disembarking, it has these gigantic production methods that push so much demand into your military complex and gives you maritime presence. It's so strong and so underrated. Our lords are rebellious, and they're not actually doing rebels yet, which is good for us. But what we do need is to start making these urban locations. So when I'm thinking about it, I do the provinces surrounding us first. So we'll do that one. And then we look at our natural harbours. So let's sort of think about where our next ones are going to be. Barking will be a good one. It's a low-tier RGO, and it's a natural harbour. Dover, same sort of logic. Low-tier RGO, natural harbour. Ipswich we might want to keep just for the horses. We can get some good control in there if we make an entrance point near it. Yarmouth is a really good early urban location. The entire south coast, really. And then when we get Wales done, we will just really focus on getting Pembroke to be a city. Because obviously, if you want local governors, you need cities. And that's a problem that England starts with. Whereas somewhere like Spain or France is a lot stronger because they don't start with that problem. They can just make local governors from the start off, get so much control, and just take over the map, really. get a lot of income from it. Now, Wales is almost done. So we want to start improving our relations with their vassals so we can get them integrated early. But they've got a lot of them, which is obviously a problem for us, but we can worry that down the line. Let's get Barking made into a town. Gun Cartel England build POG. Absolutely. We need as much guns as possible. We shall protect our freedom, like the good old Americans with their Second Amendment. Get the fancy buildings as well before they get expensive. It would be cool if we could get London to be a megalopolis. I'd love that extra construction slot at the moment. As our current urban right in London is a staple port, which we essentially chose just to boost maritime presence and boost our burger power. But a lot of other countries have a lot better ones, so that's the sort of problem for England at the moment. But it's going to be a really good source of flavour later down the line. No, she's died. Do we want to kill off this guy? Oh, he's not great. Why not? This guy isn't either. Can we get an even better guy? He's got 92 Diplo, but he's not amazing. Pierre de Barcelona is our nephew in the Crown Estate. Our king is our admiral. Revelations of Divine Love. We've got cannon makers now as well. We'll make a few of them in London. Not too many of those. I don't plan to use too much artillery. But our manpower is now increasing, so we can start building up that professional army that we really need. We'll transport them back to London, just so they can get reined in very quickly. Come on, Navy, sort yourselves out. Get you done really quickly. No estuary, so still 20 penalty from port, yeah. We just need to get to naval, and it will solve a lot of our issues. And we'll go for a town in Dover next as well. And Colchester. Oh no, Colchester's already a town. This one I was looking at. Yarmouth, that was it. And you will see the amount of fancy buildings we can make when we get all of these towns done. Yeah, there we go. So we can get a temple. A temple, a marketplace, a library. We've got just loads of stuff we can make, and it all goes back into our economy. A wharf as well is always going to be very, very useful. And we're up to a tax base of 358 at the moment. Which isn't crazy, but it's getting up there. We're also going to need a lot of weaponsmiths. Maybe we've got to do that in London as well. London will be the economic hub. How's it doing for building slots? We are running low. Okay. Maybe we don't want to overbuild too much, but we'll get these ones done. When is our truce up with France? Because we'll want to go straight in on them. We need to get some extra regulars first before we can worry about stuff like that. A bountiful harvest. That is food production unrest. Brilliant. We'll take that. An extra footman? Absolutely. For our professional army. Yo, we're just... Yeah, it's just... That's really annoying. Come on, guys. I wanted that 500 manpower. There we go. Yeah, we'll go for a footman. We'll probably do some archers after that. When does spamming market villages become good? Well, because they're fundamentally inefficient these days, they're nowhere as good as they used to be, but they can still be really useful if you're... Let's just send a few people off to the Teutonic Crusades. You're really good. They could be really, really good if you need like urban populations. So, for example, in places like near London. So I know we've got 1 billion like urbanized locations here, but we're never going to urbanize Saffron Walden. So you build market villages in Saffron Walden because not only does it increase their market access, but it gives you a pool of burghers. So which means these burghers then migrate around to places like Colchester and Barking and fill the jobs. And that's the main use for them in this patch at the moment. And for food storage as well. If you want to min-max your... Yeah, we definitely need integration speed there. If you want to min-max your population growth, market villages are really, really good for that as well. Same with granaries everywhere. Which, to be fair, we could probably think about doing some granaries. Just to build up that population growth in our high attaining areas. Because you have a look, the modifier for population growth here is cheap food, available land, and the one at the bottom, large food storage in province. That's your granaries. If you increase your granaries, you get more population growth. It's really important. Do we want to get pepper and cloves? Well, we can't bring them into the market, so no, thank you. We have Annex Wales. Brilliant. Now we've just got all of these vassals to deal with before we can even think about getting a local governor on the coast. So that is where our diplomats are going to go. And we'll just get on that. In the meantime, we'll probably start annexing Durham, just so our annexation speed is doing something. Yeah, we'll do that. Have we got the CB on Tyrone yet? Yeah, we do. Brilliant. So our next diplomat will go in on Tyrone. We've got enough for another city as well. So Natural Harbour. Shoreham's got a lot of lumber, but Chichester's stone. So let's go for Chichester and get a city there. And all of these wharfs that we're building can all go into that maritime presence and just giving us a lot of economic advantages. And you see our wealth is really rewarding us. And we need to get our population up as ASAP as well, just so we've got more people for the mines. There we go. We passed, I believe we passed our parliament. I hope we did. And that should help our integration. I know we're not integrating stuff at the moment over here, but we do need to. We took all of these provinces for a reason, and I don't want to just abandon them to vassals in this day and age. Albeit, we could create dominions, actually, and just try stuff out. I'm not opposed to, actually. If we make some big French dominions, they would probably give us quite a big amount of advantage. Let's do that. Let's make a big Northern French dominion, and we can test out our theory. So, custom subjects. I know custom subjects aren't anywhere near as good. Dominion. Let's do it. Then we can give this subject the provinces around it. So we'll do that one. We'll do that one. And then we'll see if they start converting places to our culture, as we believe is the theory. How many hours do you have in EU5? I'm up to about near 1,000. I have been suffering from a little bit of EU5 burnout in recent months, but it seems to have eased with the stability of the current patch. But, you know, it's been interesting to see what 1.3 brings, but if I'm honest, I don't really want it to change too much. The big changes that are constantly happening. This guy is our crown, so we can't get rid of him. We'll just take the development. We'll make our laws like us more. I know there's some glaring issues in the game, and there always is, right? But I just want some stable patches so I can actually fall in love with the game again. I don't want it to change and have to relearn mechanics and remake videos for loads of mechanics on a daily basis. That can be quite annoying. Let's keep going. Now, we can think about doing the tool spiral, actually. Lumber into tools, etc, 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 and you're just going down that route. We want to do the war in Tyrone. Let's do that. We've got our professional army now, so it should be easy as pie. But there's a lot of sieges, so let's try and find our army, wipe it out, and then we can spread our army up. So there you go, they're in the north there. Let's do with them. Brilliant. They're gone. Let's get their cities in the back line. And then we can just keep systematically taking Ireland and giving it to the Pale. I don't really mind about the AE here. It won't cause us too many issues. It's already up to 54% war score. How long is our truce with France? Because I want to go back in on them. Now we've got a professional army, a while. So we do want to build that army up. Especially if they've got the Pope on their side for the next one. I can't believe the Pope abandoned us. Maybe I need to support the Neapolitans in their fight for it. Because they've obviously got the other side of the Western Schism at the moment, where they're trying to reign control from the papacy. Yeah, let's do that. This is why you don't abandon your allies. Let's make friends with the Neapolitans. And the Castilians abandoned us as well, and they don't want to re-ally us. Why is that? Because we were a likely target of a coalition and we're in Ireland. Okay. Well, I'm going to ignore that. Oh, they're hiring mercs. Let's get off that siege quickly and deal with them. As long as our vassals aren't stupid, we should be okay. But this is the E5 AI we're talking about. You never know. Welcome everyone to the stream. Thank you for joining recently. It's good to see you all. Do say hi in the chat. I'd roll back the 200 base subject cost and annexation at least. Yes, please, God. It is too slow. 7 years to annex Durham. Like, I know they really didn't like the subject meta, right? And they tried to get rid of it. It's just too far. Way too far, in my opinion. So because the Welsh isn't our culture, we're going to struggle to get cores in a lot of this land. So we need to culture convert it. We just don't have the spare cabinet seats at the moment. We need the other institutions. So a little tip, if you guys didn't know, is a way to get institutions is going to the places that have them and getting naval rights. If you get rights to people's ports, it spreads their institutions to you. Weird little interaction, but really useful to know. I thought you wanted to say you suffered for 1,000 hours. I've really enjoyed it. I don't know, like, I know it has its problems, and I've definitely overplayed it, and that's caused my burnout rather than the game being bad. I just think the game isn't bad, it's just stagnating, and I think we'd all like it to succeed. But I think fundamentally the problem is everyone's got a different vision of what we want it to be, right? So we're all fighting for scraps over different ideas, and whether we get to the right place in the end is a completely different question. I hope we will, but there's a lot of different competing interests, and people are always going to want different things. That's just human nature, right? It's like some people want mission trees. Some people vehemently message me and like, why would you want mission trees? That's awful. Some people want a simulator. Some people want a story. Everyone has their different angles, and just need to enjoy the game for what it is. I think we want some stability, really. We want the performance to actually work, like, right. We don't want it to be awful, like it has been recently. And just we want to feel valued and that our views are being listened to, not just the vocal minority. Because it has been leveled that Paradox listened too much to people who moan on forums and are really invested than the people who have left the game because they can't play it. And I don't actually think that is a stupid thing to say. Do we want to pass the Stannery law? Absolutely not. The Cornish could rise up if they want. I really don't care. I'm not taking more Stannery courts. They are terrible. Oh, they've unconditionally surrendered. Perfect. So a little tip as well. If you right-click transfer occupation, you transfer entire states at the same time, which makes it a lot easier. If you didn't know that, congratulations. Your life has been made a lot better. So let's get on that. Oh, I left-click that one, so we don't want to do that. And then we're just going to get all of this stuff and give it to the Pale. A big Irish Dominion. Unfortunately, it's very expensive because of our bad thing. So can we separate piece anyone? Are there any disloyal vassals? No. No. And no. Oh, this is why you need proper CBs. Why... Why can I only get a parliamentary CB every few years? Like, it's just artificially trying to slow down my conquest. Okay, what states do we want the Pale to have? Are there any good RGOs? Not really. Ireland's a bit crap. Why are you artificially expensive? I'm not really sure. We'll just take stuff they can handle. Transfer that guy to the Pale, sure. Oh, we can transfer their vassals for cheap. We just can't take provinces for... Cool, okay. That's okay. I wish the Pale would start their own wars. That'd be a lot better. So if we transfer the vassals to the Pale, that's fine. And then we just take the odd province. There we go. That's perfectly fine. We're happy with that. Then hopefully that means they stop being our rival and we can set a new one. We've got enough for a new... Oh, it won't let me set a new rival. That's sad. We'll have to go for them again in a little bit. Okay, so do we want to improve relations with anyone else? This guy in Lancaster, sure. And just all of the Welsh vassals that we want to get annexed, I think. There's a big three because we need to get a road to Pembroke if we want a local governor there. Can we do a new pilgrimage? Not yet. Okay. Vassal meta will be there for as long as the cabinet will remain unchanged. I believe that that cabinet is the new manor. Cabinet or stability, I'd say, is the new manor. I mean, we need to get out of the cycle of permanently just comparing everything to EU4, right? But I don't think the cabinet system is working as it should. I liked it in CK, and it was really good in CK because CK is like artificially a slow game. They've tried to make it EU5 so it just doesn't seem right. There's so much you need to be doing, and there's so much you need to do, you want to do, and it's like it just feels like an artificial limit slowing you down. It doesn't feel fun. At the end of the day, you're playing a game to have fun, right? You're not playing a game to just be a simulator. Like, there's a lot of Excel spreadsheets you can do if you want to do that, right? We're playing to have fun, so why not let people have fun ultimately? Let's make more wool. The cheaper we make wool, the more efficient our entire economy is going to be. Now, I wish the Irish people would ally together. It would make my life so much easier. Okay, Connaughts, those three, those two have allied each other, which is good. We can probably use our next parliamentary CB on them. But we might have to go in on the French soon. How long is our truce? We've got 6 years in our truce. That's a long time. I don't want to just end the 100 Years' War that early. Now, the Castilians, do you want to ally me again? No, you still don't want to. Well, no one likes you. You have no friends. We could go for a war in Portugal. They are a rival, if I remember right. We can... Oh, I saw something. Invite Rowan Cleric. Do we want to do that? Probably not. We've got enough decent characters. There we go. So William Plantagenet's come of age. Brilliant. Would you like to go on a royal marriage? Oh, we don't have a... We don't have a diplomat at the moment. And his stats are terrible. Yeah, we probably want to get you as a diplomatic chip to another nation just because he's that bad, right? So, let's... Stockade. Let's get rid of these stockades. I wonder where they are. Oh, they're in Wales. Obviously, we've just taken over a bunch of land in Wales that we haven't really optimized. So we want to get a bailiff in that province there. Have we got any other really strong RGOs that we could benefit from some extra control over? Probably the horses there. Maybe the iron on the south coast. Yeah, let's do it. Bailiffs are really useful, but only on your really strong RGOs. Otherwise, they can be quite crap. Canterbury as well. Sure, I guess. We'll probably make Canterbury a city in its own right soon anyway, but for now it's okay. Headingham, sure. You don't want to over bailiff. I mean, they don't really have any negative effects, but they everything's opportunity cost, right? There's always going to be something else you can spend your money on, and that's part of the reason why we play this game. Let's get some new roads going out, as our just for more of our market access, if anything, at the moment. Maybe one to Derby. Maybe one to Nottingham. We might find Marinakis up there. Hey, I'm playing the Ottomans at the moment. I wonder how best I call the Greek land, and that's the Anatolian land. Well, that's the problem. You need to culture convert it, and the strategy you do that is ultimately up to you. I mean, you could culture convert yourself to Greek and go down that route. That's quite strong, even if it feels a bit ahistorical. You could get yourself some dominions. That's the theory we're working on at the moment, because they are sort of forced to be your primary culture or a kindred culture for you. So if you made a dominion in that Greek land, they would have to be your culture, and then they will culture convert those provinces for you, and after 50 years you could get it back. But then you obviously left without that land for 50 years. That's the problem with dominions. The one weakness is that it's so long of a timer for you to get it back, is that it's a problem. Just using your cabinet, right, is probably your best option as the Ottomans to get your cause. Just because you have so much cabinet spaces. Like, we've got 2. The Ottomans has like 5 at this point in the game. Like, it's incredible. So that would be my recommendation. Just use your cabinet, convert those cultures ASAP. If you discriminate against that population, so the Greeks, in your culture tab, I show you here. If you discriminate it, like we're doing against the Cornish and the Welsh, like if we worsen our opinion with the Welsh, right, that means we get an extra 20% passive assimilation. And then if you put your culture conversion on top, you get cause a lot easier. I hope that helps. But yeah, use your cabinet and and rush cabinet seats. Cabinet seats, I wouldn't call them mana, but they are so important. It's incredible. Now we're rushing coastal forts as we're a naval country, because we need to get maritime presence over like 100 in all of our provinces. And that's why we're strategically urbanizing these natural harbours on our coastline. You see here. Ooh, free stability or clergy satisfaction. Obviously free stability. Who are you taking me for? So let's get the unique buildings that we need. So libraries, let's mass build them. We've got, obviously you can only do these in like towns. That's why we're focusing on it. Temple, let's get the temples in. Armory, we want the armories. And this is where our money's going to go on. But hopefully it creates a lot of demand for industry in London, and that's why we're spamming the hell out of like gunsmiths, cannon makers, weaponsmiths, etc. We probably should make a few more gunsmiths actually, because we're making a lot of armories. Like, let's turn our taxes off automatic and go for a bit of a tax spree, I think. I would like some money, please. So we're finally getting into naval, which is good. We need to get down that tree as much as possible. If we can do a naval battle with our king, that will get us a naval trait, which will allow us to push it further, which will be really useful. We've got a new son. He's 0 years old. He's not a traveller. If you guys saw last session, we had a time-travelling child, and they just spawned it in at -2, which unfortunately meant the game glitched and didn't give them an education, so their stats were terrible. But if we somehow, if I realised early and gave them a proper education, God, we would have had a god heir on our hands. But it's like glitches like that. Why are they still in the game? Why is it in the game in the first place? Joan de Barcelona has died, our good general. That's really sad. Max out our gunsmiths. Ooh, this guy is an aggressive commander. Sure, Roger, you can have him. So our next parliament's 2 years away, so it's a bit of a wait, but we'll get there. Oh, we've got a rebellion on our hands. Let's send our army to go and deal with it. This is the dominion that we just set up, and the problem with using custom subjects rather than historical subjects is that you don't get cores on the land they start with, or any land you give them, right? Historical subjects, the advantage of them is that they get cores. So this is why they're getting rebellions, because they're having to integrate it before anything else. But we're going to win the war for them, and it'll be fine. This is why we have manpower, and this is why we're building the economy, so we can get even better buffs. Right, now we're starting to make some trade profit in London, because we've got some really good goods. So at this point, marketplaces are going to be very viable for us. So I think we're going to start building them. Now, you've always got to build marketplaces with a pinch of salt, because if your trade is not, you've not got sufficient goods to export, right? So if we have a look at our surpluses, we've got a lot of goods that we can export around the map, and some high value ones at that, or at least high in demand ones. So that's when you can have marketplaces be really effective. And obviously using the new urban rights as well is something you can get effective with marketplace building levels, like getting staple ports and stuff. And I think we could probably do that, right? If we get a staple port in Barking, in Rochester, and in Chichester, that will give us a hell of a lot of marketplace building levels. So we can then build some really productive marketplaces in those places. It's obviously cost us a bit of legitimacy, but what we can do is spend our religious influence for it. By canonizing a saint. And we've got Alfred the Great. He'd be quite good. Edmund Ironside. That will give us a lot of legitimacy. There we go. 97 legitimacy. Death of a Crusader. That's very sad. But, yo, have they just pieced out and lost us land? Are you mad? That's my province. I just took it. I hate vassals. I literally won the war for you. My troops, I wiped all their armies. How have you managed to piece out for nothing? I do hate this game sometimes. I really do. What I mean by calling cabinet manor is that it's arbitrary, and that everyone has at least 2. Magically in EU4, you base something, base manpower, base income. I guess you're right, but I did like that system, so I don't think that's a bad thing by any means, because it levels the playing field. I know big nations are strong, but you should be able to survive as a small nation. There you go. I'll name my my daughter after you, stranger. There you go. Martin, you'll be my next one if I get another one, but we'll see. We've got quite a big family, if you haven't realised already. Unmarried adult heir. Who do we want to marry you to? Holland? Not in line with the throne. Sad. Austria? Sure. Austria works. Right. Our crown power is up to 22%, which isn't too bad. We can think about starting to curtail our nobility, but they do really not like us at the moment. But then again, is it worth it? Like getting rid of primacy and nobility would drastically reduce their influence, and we're going to go for it. And a cheeky little tip, if you didn't realise, by the way, is there's no difference in, and they need to change this, they really do. There's no difference in the monthly change of estate satisfaction if you are taxing your lords, like the full amount, and they're like negative estate satisfaction, or you're full. So why wouldn't you just tax them to the hill if they're at negative? Because even if they get back up to 26, we can just reduce it by 1% and 1% and min-max it like that. It should be a scalable modifier. That's something they really need to change fast. Were they disloyal? It happened to be with my dominions in India. I don't think so. I think they were narrowly above, but I don't know, because maybe I just didn't give them the land or didn't occupy the land fast enough for them. But I did definitely kill the army, so I'm quite frustrated that they've done that, because it's just extra AE that we're going to have to take, and you don't start with, like, we don't have any cores in it, so we can't get it back for cheap. It's really frustrating. We could try and see if we can diplomatically vassalize them. Request to become our vassal. No. Because we've got so many of these bloody Welsh subjects, they'll never do it. Right, let's push up our diplomatic spending for a month. So we want to try and get a CB on the Portuguese. Do a cheeky little money war with our professional army. I mean, that's sort of what the Swedish did historically. If anyone knows about medieval Sweden, what they sort of did was destroy enemy. Is that good? Yeah, destroy enemy is good. Let's just sort that out, and we can stop getting a supply network on them, and that'll give us a lot of diplomats, and then we just put it back. Yeah, they invested, like I'm about to do, a lot into a really good professional army, right? And what that meant is that it cost them an arm and a leg. It really did. But they could just go around and win loads of wars and a war and a war and a war and a war and just take the money from the enemies, right? And it was profitable for them. The only problem is when they die, and then you're sort of cooked at that point. But hopefully they won't die. We've just got to deal with that if it comes. That we still can't get the other institutions, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is we're just going to focus on the really advanced type of units that we can use. Now, Hungunners, they're a bit crap, so we'll push for heavily cav. Slave Centre we don't really need to use, and then probably we'll do our recruitment law after that, because that can help us push to naval, which will obviously be very good for us. Now, let's test something, because someone said it just divides evenly. At the moment, so if we split our naval out and then put our air, oh god, he's good, 181, 100. Need him in our cabinet. I mean, I can just put him straight in our cabinet unless I've got anyone else I want in. We've got a lot of people in our crown estate, just none are very good, which is a problem. Yeah, we'll get you in our cabinet. You are insane. And we've got our parliament quickly. Let's deal with that. Support the state is good for crown power. We've just revoked the noble privilege anyway, so it doesn't help us now. Trade insurance, noble garrison law. Yeah, we'll go for noble garrison law, just to make it easy to get the parliamentary CBs that we want. A burgher tax exemption we could do, because it will give us a lot. Let's do it. And then we can fabricate a CB. And who do we want to do it on? So, Offaly, if I invaded you and CB'd you, Connaught. If I invaded Connaught, yeah, that's probably a decent one. And that's land we can just give straight to the Pale. It's really helped us out a lot that we don't have to manually invade Scotland, because we just got them for free. Like, we were so lucky. Hey, it's good to see you, Martin. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Good, I hope to see you again. Have a good sleep. Yeah, we were really lucky that we didn't have to manually conquer Scotland. Not just for the AE, but the pure amount of like trauma it is to get a CB at the moment. Our lords really aren't happy. We're probably going to get some sort of lord rebellion, but I think we're going to firm it. Yeah, 1%. We're just going to tax them hella high water and get all of the money out of them and use it for our economy. God, our cost of court cost is getting crazy though. We need to get the other institutions like ASAP for the cabinet slots. 500 ducats. Probably another men-at-arms. Our army is going to get expensive, but if we want to do some fancy wars, it would be worth it. That's what we were doing. We were testing putting our son and heir on the navy. Now, our crown power has gone from 22.5% to 23.73%, but that's the exact same as it was before. It just splits that command bonus. But for pushing naval, it actually buffs us by 0.5. Because you have, it seems, it's gone up, so it looks like it has. Ruler has a general trait, is really bad. Why have you got a general trait? Yeah, this is why we're struggling to push naval, because we keep getting general traits in our rulers. So when you die and we get our crown prince in, we need to get him a naval trait. Actually, let's see if we can do that. So this is our heir. If we get him near this war we're about to start, if we can find even a one province naval battle, and he wins it, we'll get a naval trait, which will allow us to push naval, which will be really useful. Come on, please have a navy. Please have a navy. Okay, they do. We're going to sit here. Now, let's ferry our professional army over. And then we need to kick that navy out into the sea. And then we should get a naval trait, and that will help us get to the value that we need. See, this is the type of min-maxing you have to do in EU5 at the moment. You should aim to get a trait on both ruler and heir, and then just push. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Do we lose support in Parliament? We'll just take an urban parliamentary seat. We can get another CB, which would be beautiful for our Dominion. Who do we want to go for, though? Is Fomond allied to anyone? I definitely mispronounced that. Clan Ricard. Mayo. Yeah, we'll do Mayo. We'll get a CB on them. Fabricate CB. Mayo. There we go. And if we can get Iron Unified, it would be really good for our economy as well. Reduce the diplomatic spending. That's costing us an arm and a leg. But we will get there. Now you killed the coalition. Does Castile want to get the band back together? Probably. I mean, we can ask for money. Yeah, I'll take free money from you, Castile. But the question is, do we want to get the band together? They betrayed us. Like, is it really worth us doing it? I'm not sure it is. Yeah, we need to kick this navy out into the sea. Wait, are you in that province? Now, hopefully, we get this battle rather than our friends who are trying to help us, but really aren't. We need the trait. No, we didn't get a trait. That's really sad. Okay, we'll have to force the other guys out. Right, hitch up, and let's get to Ireland and win this war. 0% chance. Sadly, we're not going to pass that parliament. Right, let's distribute food. Ooh. Come on, please. Yes, we got a naval trait. That's brilliant. Right, let's get sieging. This will all go to the PAO anyway. We need them to culture convert it for us. And we want to keep building up our army. And men-at-arms is our highest quality troop at the moment. We've got a cabinet action free. What do we want to do? Do we want to integrate province? Probably. We've got this stuff in northern France that we need to do. And we might want to keep that stuff for ourselves. Because we don't want this problem again. Buddy Renai, I am not a fan of you. Is it not 100% to get a trait? I mean, it depends if your ships get into the battle. If your ships get into the battle, it should be. Well, I don't know. I don't think you can get a general and a navy trait at the same time, but I want to find out. Does anyone know? Can you get a general and a navy trait at the same time? If you could, that would be really useful. Close ties with the House of Wake. It could be the House of Woke, but it isn't. We'll make our lords like us. Let's do it. No, we don't want to be friends with the Portuguese. They've already betrayed us. Now, we've unlocked coastal forts. And this, I'm going to show you, we're going to build them literally everywhere because they're just that strong. Now, we probably want to make some new naval sort of towns as well, just because we're going for it. We don't have the money right now, so we'll worry about that later. Meddlesome Advisor, maybe he's right after all. It doesn't cause us any debuffs. Right, we're sort of starving there. We've overloaded the food supply, but nothing we can do to change it at the moment. Let's get a general on you, just in case. We're still encouraging naval, but we're getting really nowhere near it at the moment. It's quite frustrating. A cabinet is a limiting factor for expansion, making tags like Byzantium OP, while regular countries like England, starting with 2, are terrible. Yeah, it's like an arbitrary limit. It is quite frustrating. Yeah, I mean, I do like the cabinet system for the flavor-wise. I thought it was a good implementation from CK, but it just doesn't seem to be working as wanted at the moment. Now, we can actually probably start 2 wars at the same time, because we haven't raised our levies, have we? I mean, let's do it. Why not? France also subsidised like a third of the Swedish budget to keep us fucking up the Germans. Well, that was like the classic like British strategy across history, wasn't it? Just like fund the enemies of your enemies and you will win. So can't begrudge them for that. Can we separate peace anyone? You. Probably. Let's give you to the Pale. We can. Ooh. Brilliant. More land to our Irish Dominion. So this is the benefit of having a lot of vassals, is they just fight your war for you and it's beautiful. There we go. So let's urbanize Portsmouth. And Southampton. They've got really good ports, so we'll be able to get some really good buildings there. And how is our trade income going since we invested in marketplaces? It has gone up, but not as much as I really want for the investment. But we'll keep investing and we'll see if we can make some magic out of it. Don't worry, more countries will get additional cabinet seats when they make DLCs to them. Yeah, I mean, it's the classic paradox spiral, isn't it, right? You wait for DLC, you spend a lot on DLC, and you get a better game. But it does, it doesn't mean the game should be like that, let's be honest. Ooh, more ships for us. Lovely. There we go. We're starting to crunch this war down. Let's do some naval battles quickly if we want to try and get a naval trait. I don't think it's possible, but I always love to learn stuff. Offaly has unconditionally surrendered to us. Okay, let's get this land to the Pale. And I want it directly to the Pale. Right-click to transfer the entire state. Just need to make sure I'm separate piecing the right person. Only for themselves? Yes. Perfect. And then we can give all that land to our Dominion. Brilliant. Occupy this last province and then we can do the same. Oh no, we need to take the other one as well. It's not too bad. Yeah, it doesn't seem that we can get a naval trait if you've already got a general trait. And that does make sense. But it just means that we have to make our king die if we want to actually push naval, really. Now, the Pale might have some rebellions for the amount of land we're giving them, but I think it's worth it. We just need to try and avoid the situation of what we got like in northern France. Losing land artificially, just because they were being stupid. Is not a fun eventuality. Right, let's get some more marketplaces while we're able to do it. Those urban rights are really helpful for it. Is it worth starting a new campaign? I only play on weekends and they patch it so often I can't get a game. Up to you, mate. It depends on how much time you've got. It does look like they're about to release 1.3 imminently. So I'd make a decision based on that if you would. But look, just try and 1.2 hasn't really changed. I know it has. That's the problem. Yeah, I mean, I would just pick a save that you're not that worried about. and then start a new one when 1.3 happens. But the thing is, we don't know how big it's going to be. We don't know how unstable it's going to be. And that's part of the problem. It's changing so much that it's like, do I really feel like I've min-maxed my economy? Or if it's all changed over this different game, right? It's like they only negotiate for themselves, so we can annex this one. It doesn't feel rewarding, and a game shouldn't feel like that. But I don't want to spend this entire stream talking about what EU5 can change. I've just done a video on that, so feel free to go and have a look. England is surviving, yes. We've now got the destroy enemy Serbia and Portugal. Have they got any allies? No, they don't. So we can go and wipe them out. We'll do that straight after this war. To be fair, we should probably check their navy size. They've got 29 ships. I don't know how many of them are transports, though. So maybe we should get some extra galleys first. We can do a big galley production run. We've got time. There you go. Perfect. Right, let's go to Galway and get the town there, and we should be okay. Ireland is quickly getting unified, and we love to see it. Okay, we're maxed out on diplomats, so we should definitely use it. Separate Sea for peace. Oh, we're going to get there anyway. What do we want to do? Is there anything we want to do with our vassals? We're about to annex Durham. Kidwelly. There's just a lot to improve relations with, really. We'll start you in the south. Why not? You're near Cardiff, and I could probably make a good city there. But our economy's doing very well. And look at our tax base in comparison to wealth. That's why it's so useful to go for a lord's economy, because you can just get a really strong proportion of your wealth as tax base. Our clergy, they want to make a statute, sure. And we'll take some stability. Come on, guys. Let's get these sieges done. Getting bored now. No, we want to put our heir on, don't we? Yeah, Crown Prince, because he's got the naval trait. No, I was wrong. We need to do both. We just need to get down naval as fast as possible. And it might take a little bit of tomfoolery to get there, but it'll be worth it. Can we just assault? Yeah, it's 99 people. Just assault it. That went terribly. I guess there isn't a breach. Okay, we can make a new town. Where do we want to do it? Poole. Yeah. Oh, Poole's a 100% natural harbour. That's really strong. I guess I'll wait there. Is there an official date? Not that I've heard, but the second I know, I will let you guys know. Unused trade capacity. Okay, Mayo has unconditionally surrendered. Perfect. So we can just transfer all of their provinces to Pale. Once again, Pale is a dominion, so it's the right subject type for what we want to focus on. Cool. Right, let's get you back to London so we can build up an army before we go to Portugal. Let's get some crossbowmen as well. Oh, we're now at war in the Pale Nobles. See, I told you they would get one. Looks like we're going straight back to Ireland. Let's get going. Welcome everyone who's joined recently, though. It's good to see you. How is everyone doing today? You guys got any good EU5 saves going yourself? I still need to play a bit of an Asian save. I've been thinking about it for a while, but I just sort of end up playing the big countries. Right, it's a civil war, so if we focus on the towns first and leave the cities for last, it will end faster. So this is the problem with vassals, it's not in your hands. But welcome to the meta at the moment. See, we got so lucky we were getting Flanders as well in the early game. We've been pretty lucky this campaign. I'm definitely not complaining. You can go and push to north. We'll start a siege, actually. Oh no, our stranger, you're intelligent. Well done, dude. Do we want to improve relations with anyone? Yeah, we need to get all of these fancy Welsh vassals done, don't we? Right, our naval is coming to the fore. So we probably want to do one more naval production run just to ensure we can beat the Portuguese. There you go. And then just keep buffing up that professional army because we will use it. Another crossbowman, I think. Oh, we don't have the manpower at the moment. That's okay. Okay, banking is available to us. Now we're pretty much done with professional armies, so we'll let that spread a little bit more, but we will go for it as soon as possible. Pilgrimage when commanding the navy shouldn't be possible. I mean, you're absolutely right. Like, that's something that's obviously been overlooked. But I think pilgrimage is more of just a button in this game, whereas like in CK, if we're playing CK3 and you're going on a pilgrimage, like it is a mission. You're like you're getting events and you're potentially dying and you're like traveling through all of this stuff, and that is flavor. And I think CK3 is doing a really good job at that. Let's get you down south. Location culture. It's still Breton at the moment, so they're not converting it for us yet. But I do guess they have other priorities, like actually integrating their provinces. Right, 900. So let's get the fancy buildings we've been working on done. Actually, no, let's wait for that final town to be done. It will get there. Pembroke, I can't annex you because you haven't been my thing for 10 years. That's annoying. I know at war anyway, but come on. Right, this civil war should be done sort of soonish. We're starting to get a coalition, but that does mean we can declare war on France if we want to. Now, all the Irish people are joining the coalition, so they will get called in, and then we can take their land. Like, that's a perfect situation for us. Which we need to declare war on France before they declare war on us. Because otherwise, it's a plus 900% cost to do it. Produce core claim. We are at peace. Okay, I need to get out of this civil war. Otherwise, we're going to get coalitioned. Can we ally anyone? No. Can we send someone to the Prussian Crusade? Yes, but we want to save our diplomat. Okay. So we're in a risky scenario at the moment. I'm going to invest even more into our navy, I believe. Actually get permanent transport ships rather than having to just rely on levies. Like there's no problem with levies, but it's... oh, there we go. Perfect. Hale has won the war. That's what we want. Now, we need a CB on France. So let's get a core claim on that one province. Yo, was it not giving me a CB? I'm now confused. I thought I was going to get CB. I guess I'll build a spy network. We might just have to wait for the claim throne event. Which is a discussion of what we actually want to do with France's save. Do we want to claim their throne? Do we want to just turn them into vassals? Do we want to try and integrate it ourselves? Like... That's a decision we'll have to make nearer to the time. Now, we're 2 years off our parliament, so we could go for a parliamentary CB. I've just got a feeling they're going to invade us before that, if I'm honest. Right, surely some guys must be maxed out in opinion now. You're not. Brilliant. Right, let's increase diplomatic spending. We've got some spare money. Hostile rhetoric. What does that give us? Antagonism received. Sure, that's not that bad. We're not at war at the moment anyway. I think we might, so maybe that's a mistake. Let's get you in the channel. We'll get some maritime presence. And our heir can lead this one. Crown Prince, there we go. Let's build up this professional army further. And that is more of an incentive for enemies to leave us alone. So let's get some supply carts. Some more men at arms if possible. Oh no, we don't have enough people, so let's go for some horsemen. There we go. That's going to be a hefty army, but it'd be worth it. How interesting is Anglicanism, buffs-wise? They're really, really strong. They get so much literacy. I think it's like plus 15% max literacy. It's incredible. I would recommend giving it a run. I mean, I could always do a video on the specific buffs and stuff, but I just didn't think it would get many views, if I'm honest. Right, we're pushing 18% towards naval. We need to work on that. Right, let's get these unique buildings done. So, library to start with. Not in all of our markets. There we go. Then coastal fort. Brilliant. That'll get us so much maritime presence. A pact of caution? Absolutely not. We're not making a truce with you. Right, our king has died. That's really sad. Our heir is 1 year old, so we absolutely need to give him a expensive education when possible. It does mean that we're no longer being hampered by that general trait. So as you can see, our naval cap has already gone up to plus 33%. So we only need a few bits more into naval and we'll be fine to get that 50% mark. So we'll put you as our admiral. Why not? You're in the Crown Estate. And it's starting to heat up a little bit. Right, a Tarn kiln is apparently going to be profitable, so we might make a few of them. It's a basic lit building, it's not that major. Reigate as well, why not? There you go. And we just need to get this CB on France. I'm annoyed. I paid that legitimacy for the call claim. We didn't get it. I got a couple questions. One, can Milan be the Holy Roman Emperor leader? And two, can the HRE leader be non-Christian? Well, they non-Christian, I don't think so. Oh, there we go. We've got the CB. And Milan, no, because they are a republic. You've got to be a monarchy to be the HRE emperor, unless you do some fancy like exploiting. But I'm guessing you don't want to do that. Yeah, you need to be a Christian. I mean, obviously you have the League Wars, right, to decide which religion it is, and the Hussite Wars and stuff like that. But yeah, you've got to be Christian. That's sort of the whole point. Now, let's go on France. Call in Aragon. We can't call in the Bohemians, but let's see if we can call in the Spanish. They're at war with the Portuguese, but at 99%. So they should just be about to peace out. They've called us in. That's fine. You're literally about to win the war. And then we can go in on France. We'll call in Aragon. We'll use our fancy professional army. Do we want to get it any bigger before we go in? We don't have much manpower reserve, actually. So what we should get is some more armories, actually. Portugal want us to peace out. Decline, because we want to make our friends actually like us. Right, we'll hide the professional army in Bruges. That's where we'll do our little conquer. And we will use our levies in this war, but we will do it normally. So let's declare war on France. Call in Aragon. And we should be able to take the Irish stuff at the same time. And Pale is going to be magnificent. So let's go. Declare war on France. Call in Aragon. Summon all of our levies, including our naval levies. And that's all going to go to London. Now, we're going to have some great kill rates, hopefully, with these professional arms. Everything is coalescing in London. I think you got the Casus Belli against the vassal, not France. Maybe you're right. I didn't realise it was a vassal there. Ooh, Lollardy has arrived. We could convert, you know. Lollardy is really strong as well, not just Anglican. Yeah, I think you're right. It's a vassal. That will be the cause of the issue. Urbanization is our power. Absolutely. Stephen Longford can be our general. And we'll ferry our army to the continent. Now, we should win pretty much every battle just because of how many professionals we've got. But we do need to get banking or renaissance now, because we're pretty much at our wit's end with these troops. Actually, we can hold it off. We need more stability. Let's pull back on our diplomatic spending. I don't want to waste the diplomats, though. Send character to Prussian Crusade. Let's, yeah, send Charles. Why not? Unify our army. And get the rest over here as well. Oh, we won! Woo! Castile just annexed Portugal, essentially. Jesus, that's Portugal. Let's not look at that ever again. Now, let's kill the French. We left that 380 troops behind. They must be really sad. Let's just go for the border towns. They've really fortified at the moment. I don't want to push them too hard. Can we get another general? Yes. We don't want to have our rulers or anything on it, as we don't want a general trait. That would be bad. Especially when we're really trying to get to naval. Integrate province. Absolutely. Please do that. Right, these are two big stacks. The French have got 48k themselves, so we need to be careful. Let's try and help Flanders over there. Come on, they're winning. Good. Right, let's push in. So they took that fort for free because they took that battle. So that was a major mistake by the French. That'll be a stack wipe. Insane. And let's get these sieges done. Now there's 12k going for our vassal up there. Can we get across to them? I'm guessing not due to zone of control. Yeah, we'd have to take an awful route. So you're our regular army, so that we can split you up in two again. And they should hold their own. But we'll see it when we see it. We can improve cultural opinion with Aquitaine. The kindred, there we go. That means if we now make them a dominion, they can keep their own culture, which is a little bit iffy, rather than English, but it's okay. Let's get killing. We are very strong at the moment. They shouldn't really pose any threat to us here. I don't think we'll be able to get the PU in this war, though. Right, come on. Oh, there we go. Our armies are good because the amount of professionals we've got spread around. That's beautiful. We did take a lot of casualties there, though. And we are losing a lot of people to these constant wars, so we do need to be careful. Food access from Bohemia, absolutely. Do you want to canonize a saint? No, we'll leave it for now. We do need to get the unique buildings, though. So temples everywhere, please. Same with wharfs. If we get docks as well, that would be very useful. And that all of that will just create demand going for our entire economy. So same with promote integration process. We'll try and get some CBs in it if possible. So aristocratic support. Ross and Barrows, I don't want to piss off our nobility even more. We're getting a lot of money from them at the moment with that high tax. Let's chuck our burger taxes up. We'll just tax you as much as physically possible. And our economy is going very well. I'm very happy with what we're achieving at the moment. Just time for us to beat the French. I haven't played England yet. Wouldn't France just win seniority if you actually get the Union? Or did they do some shenanigans? Well, that you can get a much higher great power support. Oh, our son is born. Now, let us dedicate our most recent heir to Martin Olsen. Martin was lovely enough to donate to the stream and help support this. So we will make him our son. If you're still here, Martin, I don't think you are. I think he's asleep. But there you go. What was the question? Sorry. We've got... Yes, great power score, how it's calculated. So if you have a look down here, a lot of it actually is just subjects. Like, we get more from subjects than we do our population and our navy size. So if you make a gigantic navy, You make lots of subjects. You're just higher than France, and you can, especially against an AI. It's harder. It's much harder if you're doing it on a human, right? Because you're going to be fighting for great power score because they're not going to be stupid. St. John of Hereford gets a general trait. Oh my god, he's insane. Yes. We've got some really good characters at the moment. Oh no, they're in trouble. Let's pull back there. They lost a lot of troops. This is the problem when you oversplit your armies. But you like try and do it for efficiency, right? Oh, and there. Now we're losing that as well. Okay, let's just coalesce. The French are coming out and getting some big victories. So coalesce together to one big force, and we'll be better for it. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Come on. We just lost 7k troops and a lot of regulars. That's bad. That's really bad. Okay, we got our regulars back. At this point, we're going to do the cheese and full retreat. Full retreat is the most overpowered button in the entire game. Because you can just... You're about to get stack wiped. Like, the combat in the game at the moment is so stack wipey. And if you've just been caught out, you just press a button and you escape. Now, I'm annoyed because we've just lost a lot of population for nothing. But we can't change it now. What we can do is build more armories so we can come back with an even bigger professional army and dick them. Well, when it gets to a point that you think 400 troops is going to make the difference, you fucked up. It's a general rule. The economic power of Yarmouth, we'll just give them the money. Parliament is in session. Can we get enough to get a CB on someone we want to? To be fair, we don't really need a CB, but we do need a law change to get to naval. Change policy for Holy Brotherhood. That will give us clergy power, institution growth. It's okay. I think individualism is going to be better there. And support the capital economy. There we go, because we want the integration process to succeed. Let's just keep our armies together now and not risk anything. With all the vassals they've got, they're a lot stronger than us. I love the achievement pop-ups, yeah. I don't know why the game does it, because we've already got the achievements, but we move. It's not like I'm playing a game for the first time. Okay. The burghers are complaining. Oh, that's a big win. Let's use this quickly and let's go after them. We don't need a movement speed general here. We need a damage general. And Sir John of Hereford is a damage general. Come on. Oh, that's big. Let's push him here. Nice. Humongous. And now let's get back on that siege. And we kept our progress because we kept the army there. Peace from Clan Ricard? No. If you've been occupied, you're going to be going to the Pale, I'm afraid. Oh, we can't take them, but we can make them a vassal, it looks like. That's really frustrating. Oh, we can make them a vassal of the Pale. Yeah, let's do that. That's a little loophole. I like that. And the Pale should integrate them on their own. A vassal of the Pale. If they don't, they're an idiot. And that's not my problem at the end of the day. Right, how are we looking? Not great. Okay. Aquitaine are getting... Oh my... Look how many troops the French have. This is not a balanced fight, guys. Okay, we need more regulars. We need to spam the hell out of armories. Particularly in the London market, because we actually have the goods for it. That's where all of our money, the foreseeable. Look, we're in a bit of a predicament here, but we'll get ourselves out of it. Religious influence, sure. We'll take a statue, sure. Our nobility really aren't our friends, but we are taxing them to the hilt, so I kind of understand it. So regulars seems so weak in this patch when you can just get so many mercenaries. That could be the strategy. Should we go for some mercenaries? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Mercenaries or invest loads of money into regulars? What do we think? Also, thank you everyone for being here. If you're new to the stream and you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'd appreciate it. But thank you for your presence. It's good to see you all. Yeah, we are in a predicament, but we'll get through it. We still have a lot of regulars, so they should carry us quality-wise. We've got the Flanders 13k as well, which would be really useful for us. How are we doing in terms of our gunsmiths? We need some more cannon makers, so we can do that. Gunsmiths, they're competitive. That's okay. Okay, there's that 17k behind us. They're trying to cut us off from our supply lane, which is quite clever from the AI, actually. More armories, I think. Growth of the economy, free development and prosperity. Yes, please. $96. That's not enough. Hang on, is Renee's in the one? There you are. Okay, it's fine. Right, let's get another Irish fiefdom to go to the Pale. We need to split up the vassal type so they don't have loyalty issues. That Dominion is going to be very strong. I know the economy doesn't show it at the moment, but it should be soon enough. Merc up short term, build up long term. Well, let's see. You're the only one who gave your thoughts. Let's do it. We will go for the mercenary route. Now, we'll go for Eric. He's 83. That's not too bad. We will hire some mercs. This siege is going on for years, so come on, finish up. Probably worth getting some artillery, actually, before we just go straight into mercs. I'm going to stick you in the sea as well. Oh, small mercenary company, 250. Yes, there we go. That's a perfectly timed event, and it's a cheap one at that. And yeah, the lovely achievement pop-up still going on. Any Flemish mercs to get? We'll have a look. There we go. That's a big old siege. Let's have a look. To recruit mercenaries, there is... Well, this is the one we've already got. 700. They're tiny. There's not really any big ones. We can sort of gather our own, but we need more money anyway. So we'll just get going on the money front. Siege that town there. Aquitaine is suffering. So we need to make a play to get to Paris, I think. But I can't risk splitting up the armies just because of how strong they are. So what we are going to need is some artillery. We do have the manpower for it. But obviously it delays the time we can get mercenaries. Here we go. Sure. I wish we could call in the Bohemians. It'd make my life a lot easier. Oh, there we go. We can make them a pale vassal. Make them a fiefdom. Humiliate for prestige. There we go. Yeah, you just prestige farm through war. It's brilliant. Okay, and we're going to stop that siege to go and kill the Bretonians. Oh no, they are the... Ooh, that was a hefty one. Yeah, that's the benefit of having a lot of regulars and mercs. The Normandians. So, what have we got available to us? Well, we can't annex people because we're obviously at war anyway. So let's just send them to the Crusade. Use the Diplomat. We'll get some more armories going, because we're going to need it. Our chronic population shortage is causing issues. But we can start thinking about working our population, actually. Our blockades a thing in EU5. Kind of, but they're not really that good. It's like, you stick here, you do a little bit of damage. Like, yeah, blockade capacity. We are blockading with 100% efficiency to some of these provinces. What is that achieving? Not really that much. No! Our first cousin died of a disease. That's really sad. Right. We need to get this war over and done with. We really do. I don't want to die to the French. That wouldn't be my preferred way to end this stream. Can we raise any more levies to get to the front? No, we can't. That's sad. Okay, we took that fort. Let's push for Paris. Oh, that's a tasty battle as well. Gotta die. Brilliant. Oh, that 22k is scary. Is this the point where we come back with additional mercs? Well, yeah, we were... Let's go for that little siege there. Hang on. Oh, I've ignored my rebels. That's a problem. Okay, hopefully our vassals sort that out for ourselves. The Lord rebels are more of a problem, but we can't really stop them at the moment. But we can call in our allies to fight our rebellion for us. So we'll do that. What we are going to do is hire the militant faithful. Now, where do they start? They start in Ireland. Okay. Get yourself down here, please. Get them a general. I don't think they realise that they need to be in France. Come on, guys. There we go. We do need to push for Paris, but with the French army being so big, it's a risk. Okay, they just retreated from us, sadly. There's still one last Irish nation that we can get rid of. I feel like I've overloaded the Pale with vassals, though, and that might be a problem later, but it's okay. I'd rather have the land than not. You can be a vassal, yeah. And humiliate, of course. Just trust the AI to do its thing and sort itself out. Now we've just got France in the war left. They've somehow turned Flanders against us, which is really frustrating. Flanders is just independent now, somehow, by their own volition in the middle of a war. What is going on in these 100 Years' War events? We're literally winning by 46%. Come on, guys. So I've just lost a vassal for nothing. But they must have been disloyal. That's frustrating. Because they were quite strong. Oh, well, we'll wipe them out. Or we'll try to. Come on. We lost! Oh, that's bad. Yeah, we need these extra mercs to get in here now. We might have to think about piecing the French out. Yo, why are the Flemish armies so strong? Jesus, what is going on here? Yeah, we're actually going to lose stuff from this war. That's mental. Because even if we take loads of land from France now, it's like we're going to lose the vassal. Yeah, and they've got positive war enthusiasm. Because they're obviously beating us. Right. Wipe them out, finally. We finished integrating. So, can we integrate anything else? Yes, we can. Just these Welsh provinces here. Okay. First rebellion. Oh no, Flanders is in the rebellion. Okay, that makes sense. So if we just annex the rebellion, then Flanders should just be straight back into the fold. And there's no like treaty to keep Flanders. We just take land. And they should be ours. Hopefully. Only one way to find out. That's a much better scenario than them going to France. Yeah, they're back ours now. It's really frustrating. We lost our main ally in the middle of the war. Hey, Wild, how you doing? It's good to see you. Hey, look, we've at least got progress. We had to end up killing ourselves into one of our own vassals. But to be fair, that's my fault for not checking the rebellion. But, look, it's French military strength, length of war, and they think they're making gains. So, let us pivot back to England for a second. We're going to try and reload our levies and see if we can get some extra forces out of that. Right. We have no army levies. I can assure you we have army levies raised. Attach levies. Delete. Cool. Now we can raise 13,000 levies. Beautiful. We need even more armories to keep maintaining our current stock of troops. And not just in our market. Travelling Preacher, Lollardy. Yeah, we can work towards that. Let's get our full army consolidated and then we'll go back for them. We're going to improve our relation with the Flemish and try and make them not disloyal this time. Cavalrymen, sure. And it might be worth doing the Scottish at the same time just to make sure there isn't any issues. The Bohemians said they're not going to intervene. That's fine. We just need to get their war enthusiasm down. Yeah, it's down to 50%. So if we win a few battles, we can take a lot of land. Or if we occupy Paris, that could be good too. Martin is shrewd. Take that. Right, let's push into the continent. Welcome everyone who's joined the stream recently. It's good to see some new faces. I hope you're having a good day. We are currently fighting the French and losing. No, we're going to win. We are, but we're definitely paying a price for it. Let's get all this stuff integrated quickly. At 1.3k, what are you? You're mercenaries. Okay, we'll wipe you out. Perfect. And now it's time to go for France, I think. Bourbonese turncoats. Sure, you can leave. How are we doing for maritime presence? If we're maxed out, we can go somewhere else. 78. Okay, we'll keep you around, but we'll get our ships in the strait. 22k French army is there, but I don't think they match our quality because we've just got so many mercs and regulars in this army. So I'm going to take an educated risk. Now, we've maxed out our opinion with most of our subjects, so I'm going to cancel that one. And then what we're going to prepare to do is save up our diplomats, and we're going to go hard on the French vassals after the war, because it can then potentially mean that we get them for free. Basically, if you have really high relations, really low, and they've got really low liberty desire, you can just convince them to go to your side for free. That's how we got Flanders. We just got wiped out in Paris. Why are armies terrible? I've got so many regulars. Oh, we're cooked now. Like, I have 5,000 regulars, and that was 22,000 levies. Why is that beating me there? I'm so confused. Like, I don't get it. Yeah, look. The vast majority of that is just light infantry regulars. Levies. How have we lost that battle? Okay. Desperate times call for desperate measures. We are going to run back to England and we're going to wait them out. All of their vassals are leaving, which is perfect for us. They've still got a lot left, don't get me wrong, but they are leaving. So we've just lost some extra mercenaries as well. we're gonna... We'll keep our levies this time, as we haven't got many of them. But frankly, we need to get manpower in through the doors. If our quality is shite, we need to keep working on our military tech. Because getting these French wars over and done with is much more than any ROI of any other real tech. Forts are our strength. Yeah, we need offensive. We need to get our lords to like us. At least over 25%, because then we can get them as levies. Doing home... Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Welcome back, Wild. It's good to see you. Oh, they're leaving again. Perfect. After discussion in EU4 stream the other day, do you have any other recommendations to fix EU5? So, excluding the stuff I said in the video, because I don't want to retread over established grounds. Let's see if we can wipe out their navy quickly. Yeah, there. Beautiful. I mean, big one for me is mission trees. I've said that. I remember when I got EU5, and like there was no ideas, and I was surprised. Like, why is there no ideas? Like, this is an EU5 game. Like, what's going on? Maybe a system like that, but we can't keep looking at the past. We need to look at the future and see what we can change. And I don't know. I think I've expressed my big issues quite clearly, and I just hope they do something about it. I mean, performance as well is something I didn't really touch on, but they really need to fix the performance of this game. It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, there's a lot to chat about, but I don't want to just keep shitting on it because I do like EU5. It's a good game, and yeah, I'm having a good save. We're dying to the French, which is sad, but it's we're having fun. I do actually enjoy this version of EU5. Like, I've had quite a lot of burnout with the game recently, but at the moment, I'm enjoying it. So we get 100 monthly manpower. Now, we've got a lot of regulars, but they've all been worn down. I'm just surprised we lost that battle against the French. Norman turncoats, absolutely, please. Leave the war. All of their vassals are leaving, so the longer we leave them, the better we will be. And if they're going to start doing stupid stuff like that, then they're just going to get stack wiped. Or apparently not. Okay, what is going on with our army? Why is it so crap? Okay, it just doesn't seem to be joining. Okay, I'm very confused why our army is terrible. But we've not just not pieced them out when we've had stuff. We've just fully lost the French at this point. Well, Dizian, nah, we'll get rid of him. If we're going to go to a thing, it's going to be something specific. Okay, we need more mercenaries. That's our only chance at this point. So let's loan up. We need to let the AI be stupid. Or do we want to gather one? Try and get it for ourselves. Yeah, let's do it, rather than a pre-made one. Let's go for an expensive one. Why not? We need as many troops as possible. That one's got a lot of heavy infantry, which would be useful for us. 9,000. We'll make it in London. And 24 months. Yes. We're gonna end this war. We're gonna be paying back this war debt for a while, but it'll be worth it. Does any of you have cav? You do. Let's hire you. Brilliant. Right, we've got a lot coming to save us. Right, let's give them the incentive to land if they want to. Now we're about to get a ginormous new army, but we've got 2 years to fix this issue. There we go. Right, let's go and wipe them out. Beautiful. Retake Dover. Get back onto the continent. I should have done that a while ago. Mercenaries are just so cheap. Like we saw against the Papal State murdering us earlier. Like being able to get 20,000 troops like that when all of our levies just got wiped out is mental. And obviously, the manpower issues, you're not losing as much manpower because they're mercenaries. They can come from all over Europe, not just your own country. Right, let's go and get the Frenchies. Oh, it's beautiful. I should have done this a long time ago. I will sell you back. I need some money to make up for these mercenaries. We welcome their change of heart. Absolutely. Let's wipe you out. And you out. There you go. They're starting to see the writing on the wall. All it took was spending 2.5 grand. But we've turned it around. Yeah, so that turncoat event is pretty much all just done by balance of power. Now the French want to piece us out. Nope. How many troops do the French have? Nothing. So we can split our army in 2 and get sieging. And we're just going to push straight to Paris here. I feel like the AI needs to get better. I'm playing what is literally my first campaign and was able to get to a place where I'm basically taking up all the HRE yourself. Yeah, like, I do agree. I mean, one of my friends said recently that he thinks the AI is too good because it makes it hard for the challenge and it keeps up the player. And I don't think that's a problem of the AI. I think the AI needs to improve. Like, we've just seen the French get absolutely wiped there just because we made some mercenaries, and they could have just sat in London and stopped them. Like, that's just an easy example of something they could have done. But I think the problem of people saying, oh, the AI is too strong isn't a problem with the AI. It's a problem of the game not being balanced properly. But that's something that you can change. It's like infinite scaling is something I really think they need to get rid of. Right, let's go and kill that one. Oh, we don't have a general. Let's get a general. Wiped. Beautiful. And get straight back there. And then we can execute their camp followers there. Perfect. We are rebounding. Market automation. Well, just do it automatically, please, guys. Like, sort yourselves out. War exhaustion is not great, no. But nothing we can do about that one at the moment. Now, do we want to go banking or Renaissance first? Because I'm going to invest in one, even though we are negative stability. I'm going to go Renaissance, I think, because I want that cabinet slot. That's what's limiting us at the moment. Yeah, we're going to push straight for that cabinet slot. Then universities, and then we'll see where we are after that. But let's get out of negative stability, I think. Cut back on our diplomatic spending. And we can now start improving relations with these French vassals. Because they're no longer in a war against us. Which means we can potentially get them for free. Hell nah, you've stolen the trade centre from Paris. I have, and it's beautiful. I will not have a bad word said about my strategy. The colour is beautiful. Just look at our grand trade empire. What the fuck do you mean the Pope ends the conflict? Yeah, fuck. Right, we are going anti the Pope. I mean, can I just piece them out quickly before I accept the event? That seems like a cheeky way to get out of it. The morale of our armies will suffer. 30 antagonism in London. 10 were like that's mental debuffs. So we're gonna try and be sneaky. Let's see if we can get the Aquitanian cause back. I don't know if this will work. I mean, this is cheesing the game to all hell, right? So if you don't endorse this strategy, fair enough, and you want to play it fairly, but I don't think that event is fair. I definitely don't endorse that event. So we're going to try and get these provinces for Aquitaine. Now, the problem is they seem to be going way too far to the north. And then we're going to get the two fractured thing. Where are we? Yeah, if we can get rid of the two fractured. I mean, look, this UI needs... We're speaking about improvements from EU4 to EU5. What is going on with this UI? Why can't we just click to revoke the provinces? Why am I having to go through this awful process? Chateauroux, where are you? Like, this is terrible, guys. Come on. You're not in the right place. And you're punishing me for border goring, so I can't just firm it to save time. Looking for Brusac. There we go. Guéret. Where are we? Maybe down? Nope. Up. See, look, this is an issue, right? Why is the UI this jumbled? Like, that is just bad at the end of the day. Take some land here. And with there as well. Return our core. Oh, I mean, did they peace out? I know that was the war goal, but no, we just can't take it. Okay, well, we need to get more land off them. So I will take you, and I'll give it to my friend. Cool. Peace, and then we will end the white peace. Now, because we've cheesed that, is that going to affect our truce timer? No, we've still got a long truce. That's good at least. If it did, that would have been crazy. But look, it's not a Paradox game without cheesing stuff in Iron Man, is it? Here we go. And Aquitaine is huge now. So they should be doing some crazy stuff, right? The UI is the worst out of the modern Paradox games somehow. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Room of War. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. TPMT, your character, I think, is dead, so I apologise. What else have we got? So the Lords, they're getting up to loyalty again. We need to get out of our stability, and we need to start paying off this war debt. So let's get rid of everyone. We got these mercenaries. We won the war. Now let's save our economy. So detach mercenaries, detach levies. Let's make sure we delete the right one. So you are my regulars. So you go over there, please. The other two are going to get disbanded. Goodbye. Oh, I can't disband mercenaries until the end of their term. Okay. Do we want to use them in a separate war if we got them for a bit longer? Like Portugal or something? Well, Castile maybe need to end that border war. Nays. How close are we to our next parliament? One year. Right. The Pope. We're not friends anymore. I can't believe you'd do that to me. I am officially siding with Naples. You just lost your best friend. I hope they cry over that. Now our economy is in trouble because of these mercenaries that we can't get rid of for a little bit. Ooh. But there's nothing we can do about that, so let's just push on. Let's get our navy out, building up the maritime presence. Recruitment law we could use. Where are we to? London. There we go. I don't really want to make jewelers, even though I think it would be profitable. We've just got so much going on in London. It's kind of crazy. Make a few. Why not? More debt. This is going to be painful for a little bit. Cut the army maintenance. Cut the fort maintenance. So you need to try and stay alive. Worth it to kill France, obviously. I don't know. I wonder if we're big enough to start thinking about claiming their throne. That could be really useful. Apologies accepted because you freed a huge chunk of France. Oh, yes, you're right. I've still got the naval levies. Good catch, mate. There we go. That will push more money back into our economy as well. And we got our parliament. And we would like to start annexing our Welsh vassals. No, we would like to... Yeah, like, how crazy is it? The base value... Plus 200 base value for annexation. It means that the meta for subjects is just really big subjects now. Like we've got with the Pale, like, and Scotland. Like, you just can't have small subjects anymore. Like, it's just fucked. Like, look how long it's taking us to integrate these Welsh people. Import controls, new hunting grounds. I think we'll just do the chartered subject. Just to get the loyalty. Nah, that's not worth it, actually. Canonical law, that will be. There we go. Yeah, they've really messed up vassals in this current patch, haven't they? Hi, Hosumaya, how you doing? Maya is actually my sister's name, so I don't know if that's your first name, but that is cool. Currently doing a campaign in Southern Africa, and your channel has been really helpful. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you. Integrate. Yeah, let's get you integrated, and we're almost fully integrated after that. And then we can start probably going on culture or development. Yeah, we're going to struggle with this debt. We're going to need to get that paid off before we do anything fancy. Our tax base is up to 500 now, which is pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if this one's going to pass, actually. I might just let it fail. Let it slide? Oh, yeah, we'll just let it fail at this point. How is the Pale doing? Their economy is still stagnating. They need to get their vassals integrated. I wish there was a way you could tell them to do that or help them do it. But, like, I mean, you guys can see how much we're struggling with integrating our vassals at the moment. Because they're all bloody one province minors. Like, come on, guys. There must be an easier way to balance this. Like, the one province minor vassal meta is very dead. I miss it. Okay, Sweden just invaded us. Well, not invaded us, but insulted us. So we are abso-freaking-lutely going to use our mercenaries on them before they die, because they've got a little bit left. So we're going to put a fancy old general on you. What is our 8,000 is our fleet capacity. So we'll have to go for the levies. Popular support for Roma. No. You do not deserve our support after what you did. Yes, we're going to use our mercenaries. Here we go. And it shows superiority as well. So let's take our naval levies back. Just so we've got enough to transport our troops. Sale of titles. No, we'll make our laws like us. And yeah, let's get down here. And hopefully that's enough to get our mercenaries quickly before they expire over to Scandinavia and get us a little bit of ROI for our investment. Let's do it. Let's try and find their armies quite quickly. We haven't got long. Where are we? Where are we? Ooh. There they are. Let's go and get them. Right, we need to distribute food. Oh, that's beautiful. Just one-shot them. Now, if we can get a breach, we can probably just assault the fort anyway. We do have a big old navy here. I wish we could... St. George's Day. We can't afford anything at the moment, really. How long have we got in these mercenaries? Not long. So we need to try and find the Norwegian army and kill it before it's too late. Because I'm not extending these mercenaries. I'm not doing that. We do not have the money. That debt is looking like a big juicy. Yeah, the debt is not nice. Let's we don't want to talk about the debt. I might actually do some inflationing to get it to go away. Right, there we go. We have dealt a sucker punch to the Scandinavians. And our mercenaries are about to expire. Or at least the other ones. There they go. Now it's time to go and get our regulars and then just end this war. And see, our economy is actually going up now. We're minting a lot, sure, but the problems are gone. Do you want to try and coax any other French vassals? I guess we can try. Recruitment law. Beautiful. Mercenary army. Well, that would have been very good to have like a second ago. Aristocracy. Plutocracy. Yeah, we'll go aristocracy for now. Just a good value to have, really. We're almost maxed out on naval, but we're still 0.13 off the 50% threshold we want. Which is annoying. So we'll have to think about other methods to get there. I mean, when our heir comes of age in 7 years, he'll be good. Actually, let's get him an expensive education. I should have done that earlier. Here we go. Push you guys over to Stockholm quickly. They've still got an army. They've got regulars. We'll have to deal with them. Good thing we're sending ours. You wouldn't like to see my credit card. Yeah, fair enough. It's a big debt for me because I hate taking debt in these type of games. And in real life, to be fair. Let's not talk about my student loans. God, I wish I was European. You don't have to deal with having like 50 grand worth of debt. Right, let's split the army up quickly to try and get some supply lines. Because we need food. We could actually just piece them out and take money, to be fair, and help pay off our debt. But we've got stuff we can take, so why not? We'll give that to Scotland. And Scotland. It's actually a very good war for us. Is Iceland independent? No. Oh, there they are. Cool. Can we transfer Iceland to us this war? We can do, but it'll be expensive. There's no way it's that much war score for these little islands. Apparently it is. Transfer Greenland. That's probably a better idea. Right, if we get the Stockholm siege done, we should be fine. So let's just focus on that. We have a subtle source of food. Right, we're going to rein in our minting now. We don't want to get too much in debt. Oh, the House of Fame. English gets cultural influence. That would be good to help us integrate our provinces. I have about 50k student loans and I am European. There is 0% interest rate and it got me 2 bachelors and a master's. Yeah, whereas I have 50k and 10% interest per annum. I'm not even joking. Fuck the UK. And just a bachelor's. The UK is shocking for student loans and it's just essentially a tax. It's mad. I shouldn't have built those buildings. I need to prepare to pay off the debt. Oh well. Right, there we go. We can just peace out. That was a cheeky war. And now look, we've got Greenland in the middle of nowhere. Insane. Can we try and get their maps? Share maps with us? Let's try and we can still know maps, I think, if we build a spy network. That's probably a good place to leave it for tonight. We've just taken Greenland. We've taken the Northern Islands, and they've gone to Scotland, which is perfect for us. And we've beaten France, even though it was at great cost. It just shows how strong mercenaries are in the game at the moment. So thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate if you gave it a click now. Costs you nothing. That helps the channel out. And thank you for being here. And do let me know in the comments if you fancy any other type of streams or stuff you want to learn, videos you want to see. Let me know. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being around. Have a good night.